Great trading day, man. Great conversation with all of you guys. So again, just keep it coming in. We love talking with you from a day-to-day standpoint. And hopefully everyone had a solid session. If not, there's always going to be tomorrow. You can't always be green every day, but you can try your hardest, and that's all that matters.
Peace. All right, thank you guys. Yeah. Palantir just fell off of the cliff here on 130. I mean, the whole market is trying to come down. Welcome back, everybody. I am long the TQs right here, just trying to see if we can catch a little bit of a bottom back down into 69er right now. This kind of a low rate into there, 68.99. Basically, if we break, what did I set it to? I set 98. We got to go a little bit lower. 68.89 or so. Anyways, that's this low right there, but welcome everybody. The market is a little bit in a drop zone right now, one of the bigger moves that we've seen. What level is this?
Yep.
68.94. Yeah, let's just do that one. All right, so we're going to try it there. Nice little drop down on the TQs. While you were gone, thank you to the midday guys, of course. Here's Palantir. We broke 130. We went long. We tried again there at 29 at 50s. Didn't work. We tried again just now at 129. Didn't work also. Palantir going the way of the downside right now, but we're still up 8%. Let's wait to see what happens at the 200 period. Moving average right now 128. We'll see if we can absorb that. But yeah, it's been a minute.
It's been a while
here today. Yeah, it's been a wild one.
Like, there's so many things that did reversals. I want to buy the dip, and the one thing I want to get with today for me, it's about not holding anything. I didn't hold the longs long enough, and I fear maybe I was just in an all-day break on AMD. Like it finally all day the trend on AMD, and the first time I get it on the long trend line, and I'm already out of it at 112 because I'm completely thrown. I'm convinced that we're bouncing at some point in this move. So it's actually Apple that I'm looking at because that's on a breakout. But anyways, I'm out of AMD. I'm going to, whatever. I shorted it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times and went 1 for 6 on AMD. But I got a third back on the 6th try. And I'm not sure it was enough. But Apple is breaking back into prior high. And I was back. Well, it's into the prior high, which was a brick wall at 212. So yesterday, you guys can see this. Yesterday, 212 was only the pre-market, and you had this high at 211.5. So that's where I want to buy the dip into on the things that are still on the break-in. If it's lost the high or the prior high before everything went ham, I'm not as interested at this moment. Obviously, Tesla is a different beast today as well, which I know I know that's going to be on the list. I had hey, let's go with break the wedge and take it to first resistance trade. Yeah, I should have jumped back in on the breakout. But I think you're on the other end of it here on Tesla. And I know we'll talk about this, but it got to the next gap. There's one more left, I think, before you get to 365. So I don't want to fight it too hard. Anthony G, take a look at what up, Anthony? You mentioned this in the morning. I promise, even if I only look at it for a couple of seconds now, I will take another look at Zim. And you can't be afraid to do this, even if you got away from something, which was better on day 2 than it was day 1. And lo and behold, the same area that we wanted Zim to hold yesterday, it didn't. It's up today off of that 16 quarter. And like everything else, it's looking incredibly strong. So yeah, Zim is looking pretty good. I didn't stick with it because I thought there were so many other things to look at, but that gap fill is coming in. So good look there, Anthony. I'm going to try to get in on Apple. I guess I didn't get filled. Where am I bidding? Right here. Ooh, just missed it.
Okay, here we go. We're
crazy.
We're starting to go right now. Like there goes the TQs. So we're taking some out at these levels for sure. So hopefully we'll be able to get a nice little move to the downside. I'm just trying to make sure we get our upside. Sorry, get some orders out here to take some profits. We're going to look at 60s, and then after that, 70s, and then maybe high a day. I don't know. As we sit here and wonder what's going on with this market. But yeah, so far so good here. I'll put another offer upside. Yeah, welcome back. We're going to be going over everything. We have a Big Bear AI was moving around today as well. So we recently bought some more of this name just before earning. I think it was 320, 305, 315. I'll double check the price that we're in at, but I think we were in and around $4. So we're close enough to being in the money now. I don't think we are. We need to get up to that $4 mark. We almost got there today. 385, a nice little candle there for Big Bear AI. Not sure what's going on with that one today, but that's a nice mover here. We're about getting ready to break out. This is why we want to, again, we're long. We bought 5s, we bought 4s, then we didn't do anything after that, and we bought some just before earnings. which was last week somewhere, so I'm not sure. But anyways, 320, 330. Okay. Maybe it was 2 weeks ago, but it went down on earnings, right? So it was, actually, I wasn't here that day. It was last Tuesday. Pretty sure. Well, yeah. So anyways, all right, doesn't really matter. But anyways, Big Bear AI trying to go right now. All right, there it is. Another move higher there on the NASDAQ as we try to go. The most recent bad trade of mine right there was trying to go long on Palantir. Right there, 129.50, then 129. I was waiting for the 200 period, didn't quite get there. So we don't have that bottom, but we did get it on the TQs. And we just took some more outs right there. I don't know if it's the bottom or not. We waited until we had that. There's another story. Wolf, I heard something about Wolfspeed.
Yeah, Wolf restructuring talks shift to Apollo and other creditors. Well, the algos might have just got moped on this because the initial move was down almost 10%, and then it just halted up. So everyone that shorted that down candle is like proper, you know what. So it's the tap is 391 right now, but looks like they're, like you said, their restructuring talks have shifted to Apollo and other creditors, which obviously if you successfully find suitors and are able to, manage and push that debt down the line, it's good for them. If it breaks out the high, the shorts are in a little bit of trouble because that was a heavy candle, biggest volume candle of the day downside, and then into an up halt. Yeah, last I checked, that's not good for anyone that shorted that candle. Let's go to Sharif. I'm sure I'm going to make a bold guess. My bold guess, it's going to be
Tesla, the #1 trade today.
Oh, I was going to say Palantir first. Okay, Tesla. Yeah, Tesla 1, Palantir 2, SMCI maybe, and then
I can't.
SMR. I'll guess those
maybe,
four.
Maybe Bitcoin's always on there. Maybe we can go with Bitcoin, but I can't believe we had written down there on the sticky note today, and we took it here. Tesla 318. Let's go find out what's on the board.
You and me.
All right, everyone, welcome to the Afternoon Rundown, the show where you decide what we talk about every afternoon. The boys, they're here, they're locked, they're loaded, and they're ready to look at the tickers as decided by you. But the only way to have your say and to get the ticker up there is to join Joe and I on the midday show and get into that chat and vote for your favorite tickers every day. But you got to be a subscriber to vote and engage with us in the chat. So make sure you're liking, subscribing, and sharing. Here's a look at all four major averages. 3 in positive territory, 1 in negative territory. I'll let you guys guess which one is negative. This is a look at the NQ, the best of the bunch today, up 1 2/3% on the strength of the Mag 7. Several big moves for those names today. Here's a look at the ES, which just actually went positive on the year, guys. So good look here, up 0.85. The small caps, not bad. 0.5% up on the day for the Russell 2000. And then, yes, the Dow down 0.33%, likely as a result of UNH. A very, very tough day for it today, so keep your eye out on that one. Here is a look at the first name as decided by you guys. TSLA up 4 3/4%, a little bit off the high. We saw Sean trade this one in the morning show. We saw Joseph kill it on TSLL during the midday. Elon Musk in Saudi Arabia, along with Donald Trump and many other business leaders. Today, he displayed and he showed off Tesla's Optimus robot to both the president and Mohammed bin Salman, MBS as well, Saudi Arabia guys, giving Starlink the go-ahead.
So, yeah, thanks, Sharif, for that rundown there. A lot of tough words in that rundown there. All right, so I just wrote down here 318 long. Pretty simple, honestly. And then Tesla came right into there. So, yeah, man, it is going to be P&L #1. I think it was probably P&L #1 on the midday show. It's going to be P&L #1 on this show. And the thing is like, it's just about following the plan. And we were a little nervous about it because obviously where we are now is a completely different story. But, yeah, wow. Like when Joseph was looking at this, it was 325, and it was just like, yeah, that was a good out that I had. All right, so there's 318. All right, so the reason why we talked about that price, again, like we always got to look back. I was just looking at yesterday, kind of where we had danced around. I thought if we got 318, we could at least hold it to this area. That's 316, 316.50, something like that. And then, we did get that story that full self-drive was maybe not going as well as they initially thought, or they hadn't tested it properly. So then that dip right there gave us this bottom wick, which kind of gave me my out, which is like 316.80, 317. And then when we started bouncing around, I was like, you know what, I'm going to regret not taking this fill. So we did that. And there it goes, man. It's a pretty big trade. That's 318. That's up to 325. It did come down. We caught it in a little bit of a barcode there. Then right before we left for the midday show, we got our last piece out there, what I thought was close enough to the high, and we were right. It was almost dead on. And then that's really the next trade comes. I wasn't here, but that doesn't matter. Comes right back into that level again, and then as we go upside right there. When you get a stock that's kind of just barcoding like this and then eventually taking off, it's some kind of cash money off opportunities there. Great trade by Joe. Great trade by anybody that had Tesla today. It just, you got to hold things and you got to make things happen. And that was it for Tesla. So good move there. $7 at the top. Shout out to Big Patty Ice if you're watching. I got the information there from Sharif, and so I hope you made some money on that one, Patty, and everybody else out there, Ozan, everybody, Joe, everybody who traded Tesla today. Again, was on the radar, small, but we wanted to play it, and really glad that we are in that name. We're finally back to like close to, or now in the money on my last Tesla buy, which was, I thought it was in around 330. I'm gonna have to look, and I did look at Big Bear AI. We need that stock to over $4 before I start making money in my own account. So we're waiting for that to happen as well. But wow, Tesla, what a day. And again, this is why, man, check back every single morning and I'll give you some trade ideas. Hopefully they'll work.
Well, I'll tell you, it's one of those things, man. Like, it seemed genius when every time you're inside that range from 220 to 300. But then when it breaks out, you got to be willing to, and like in the old PA, be able to add. Come back into that 200 period moving average. I don't know if we'll get a retest of that before we see like 360, 370. I don't know, man. I had one trade on Tesla. It broke the wedge. So I'll give you an idea what was in my head on the 15-minute. This is the wedge on the 15-minute. And when I go to a 3-minute, I end up getting out when it wicks to 325 level, essentially. Well, that was a bad idea. And it continues to go. Oh, whoops. Wolf opened it back up. So Tesla, look. There are moments where I would be in this on a mean reversion, because look at that. Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't? No. Not going to do it. Not going to do it. But it is kind of textbook. I need to see like a lower high or continuation or something like that. But like that's one of those, I would normally take that trade in any other situation, but not here. Before we go quickly back and talk about Nvidia, Wolf just opened back up and immediately going higher. This one's got some potential here because if you look at the daily, it hasn't done anything. It's 22% and it hasn't done anything on the daily chart. So zoom in, 50 period here, any close above about like right around here at $4, you're breaking that 50 period, which every single one of these wicks is a fail of the 50 period moving average. This closes above that, and the shorts are really getting squeezed.
Squozed? Yeah, I don't know. All right, Nvidia, another big one today. Unbelievable, some of the rallies that we've seen in this market, man. The Nasdaq up another 1.7%, now 5% away from all-time highs.
Crazy look today, Sean, for Nvidia, getting into that $130 area. In fact, breaching it intraday, at it exactly right now, up 5.7%. A couple of headlines today. So they're sending 18,000 of their top AI chips to Saudi Arabia. That's only part of the story, guys. G42, an Emirati company, said to be looking to pick up hundreds of thousands of these advanced AI chips. So this feels like a drop in the bucket. Also, Washington Post, reporting U.S. hopes to strike mineral deals during Trump's Mid-East trip. Have to possibly think about maybe Nvidia is a bit of a bargaining chip for that. You give us these AI chips, and we'll give you minerals.
Trying to turn up my Benzinga. I don't hear it. It's pretty low.
Yeah, that's one thing. I always keep trying to do that too, but like I always want to be able to hear Sharif, but also hear the news, but I can't hear both at the same time.
Right.
So there was something that just came across the wire that I couldn't really hear. Just very quickly, yeah, I'm not going to chase Wolf. It's now at 420, but almost said Palantir. Well, same thing, man. They're all going up. It's all the same stuff. I had one trade effectively twice, and it was the break of the high here at the one. It was like 131-ish. But that looked like it was a turn on Nvidia and still feels like it's a little bit weak. Like the market's doing this interesting pullback where it still looks bullish, but like you've got the biggest topping tail and then an immediate like reversal candle. So you're getting like, okay, we're going down. No, we're good. We're going back up. So anything like Nvidia, this is an important 15 minutes here. Like, is it going to break down? Are we going to get a retest of that high and go back on point? That's why I like something a little bit better that's holding the previous highs, like Apple. That's why we went into that. But as far as Nvidia goes, closing above the 200 period moving average, barring some kind of a abject disaster here today. I know things are topsy-turvy and we're 5% on the high from NASDAQs. To me, you reclaim the 200 period, that's supposed to be an all systems go. So I feel like that's going to turn into your new 123 to 125 zone. I want to double check that on eSignal to make sure that's exactly right, but I think that's going to be a buy zone for the next couple of days, even if we pull back into it.
Yeah, 130s. I don't.
Oh my God.
I don't know if we're going to pull back, but we could. I mean, again, this is just like we were just at that level today, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, who knows if we can get back into this 123 or so area. I didn't write this down today. I felt like I've been trading Nvidia. I mean, those of you that were following, man, we had Nvidia levels written down. We were long 112, 113, then 117, 118. Now you're at 130, and you are going to get probably to all-time highs pretty shortly. That all-time high is like 151 and change, I think. Hold on a second, let me give it to you exactly what it was. All right, yeah, 153. So Nvidia made right here on a daily chart, it made its all-time highs right here, 153.15 on January 7th. Then on April 8th, it made its low almost in half, 86. So you went from top to bottom in about 2 months there, and now you're more than halfway back, up to 131.17. You know, now that we're above and we're starting to really gap, like you're one more story basically, right? And then it's boom again. And then you're all of a sudden at 135, 140, and then we're like, okay, we're getting back to those levels. So I really like Nvidia here. We talk about the emperor has no clothes, but apparently at least it has something. And it continues to go a little bit higher. Now, for the trade that I'm going to be looking at moving forward right now, looks like we're trying to barcode underneath the 200 period, so we got to take this out. And if we do that, obviously our TQQ position would hopefully be mooning, and that would be really nice. But yeah, I'm debating taking a little piece here against 129.85s, which would give us about 15 cents worth of room, possibly going back there to the upside. But this 200 period moving average right there is 130.30. So I'm going to go long on a 130.30 break. And then see if we can get back up into 131. So let's see what happens right now with Nvidia against that low. Potential take and break right there at 130.30. We're going to get that one going. We do have this one going though right now, and it's a gorgeous one. And there goes the TQs. Let's see if this one can get back up. I guess I got to change. Let's take some 53s. I'll change my 69 to 57s, and right where we are right there. So let's get some more out at the 50 period moving average. There it goes, some outs right there. Then we'll see about getting something out in the high 50s and continue to go. But I like Nvidia on that break. I better make sure I get that order out. 130.30. Let's go long Nvidia.
Rob, another good day for Robinhood, gents. Just a little bit below 10%, 9.09 was it's a little bit off the high, 62 and a third trading. Couple of headlines: Morgan Stanley maintaining their equal rate rating on Nvidia, but boosting that, Robinhood, but boosting the price target to $43. Separately, they're looking to acquire WonderFi, a very a Canadian company. Participated in, I should say, by Kevin O'Leary for a $178 million all-cash deal. We don't have Robinhood as a trading platform on this side, gents. We could soon, maybe, with this deal.
Yeah, and obviously, I mean, WonderFi getting a bit of a bump on that, but no one's going to be trading necessarily WonderFi. That deal is going to go through. I mean, it doesn't seem like there's any other suitors in there, and WonderFi ends up getting like 36 cents per share, like a 40% premium, but not so great from the IPO. Hands up to a small WonderFi bag holder who gets a little bit of relief. I say that jokingly. No, Robinhood seems to me on a weekly chart, this is primed for a breakout here. It's the kind of market where I know a lot of people are like, yeah, but you can't. How are you going to want to take a breakout? We're too high here, valuation, this and that, and all that good stuff. But sometimes when you're looking for momentum, this breaks out on the weekly. Like, there are wicks higher, but you break out on the weekly and you're in uncharted territories in a blue sky setup here for Robinhood. The one that was next was the one that was in my trading plan, but Robinhood, whether you're And come on, like how many stocks were just like this, like ram job off the open and then allergic to VWAP after that? I think the next stop is on that weekly chart, trying to break through that 60. What do they call that? 68, I think it was. Oh no, never mind.
What was that?
Sorry, 66
yeah.
66. Sorry, not 68. 66. That's your next stop here. Doesn't seem like there's anything in its way. And wow, what a gorgeous upward sloping test of the 200-period moving average, which, thank you to Brian Shannon, is now one of my favorite things to consider when dip buying off the 200-period or taking a breakout off the 200-period moving average. Like it better when it's upward sloping. And ever since he mentioned that to me on an aftermarket show, it's been just spot on, including in a trade that I was in Snowflake. It helped me get a great out.
All right, we're long now on NVIDIA. Join me and Brian tonight on the show. And yeah, I remember we were talking about, I know you're talking about the 50 sloping up the 200, so that's a great little look there. All right, we're into NVIDIA. Look, we had Robinhood written down here at $58. Obviously, we really like that stock, but you can see here, it is, I'm into NVIDIA, so I have to make sure that goes properly. Yeah, $58. I mean, good way to write it down, but we don't have it. So there's $58 right there. The only problem is it's in the pre-market and then it just goes and blows. And I wasn't sure what this market wanted to do today. We had CPI come through. So we should have been long Robinhood. At least we nailed the long, but we don't have the shares. So whatever, it all doesn't matter. But nice move there for Robinhood, right back up to those highs. Again, I like the stock, going to continue to work. This has been a great winner, man. We talked about buying some. It's kind of like DraftKings, where we're talking about buying the lows. DraftKings is still kind of down there. Robinhood had a great opportunity right there to get more shares, and that was $34, $35, $36. Now it's a double up from there. This has doubled in about a month, so a little bit over a month and a half. A double up right there. I mean, it's pretty good. It reminds me of something. But right here, Palantir has also doubled in a month. From 67 or so, this is April 7th, up to 130. Let's see if Palantir wants to continue to go higher. All right, if I'm in position, it's not joking around. So I got some NVIDIA shares. So let's go back over to Sharif, and then we'll talk about some more plays.
All right, guys, Coinbase. What a day for Coinbase today. Guys, that's not an error. It's almost up 25%, 23.7% on news that they will be joining the S&P 500 before the opening of trade Monday, May 19th, guys. Fantastic look for Coinbase as Bitcoin trades above 100,000.
Yes, it does. So, look, on my note, I had Coinbase, but we like to dip buy for Coin. Just very quickly, first, I'll dip into Wolf. If we lose that $4 level, I'm going to jump out of it. They said, like, that 4 is the 50-period moving average on the daily, so as long as it holds that, then we're good to go. What's jokes?
Tesla.
Where's Tesla?
We're just talking about what a great trade it was, but whatever.
337?
You can only look back. Like, we know we made money on it, and it is what it is, but 337. Good for the good old PA as well.
What were we talking? Oh, Coinbase.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was Coinbase. Look, Coinbase, 24%. And sometimes I've seen this before where you get like, this is the day that it gets announced, you get the gap up that it's going into the index, and this usually doesn't really matter in a day like today. Oftentimes there is a dip at the open for some immediate profit taking, and then there's another like sell the news like after it gets added to the index, or like maybe like next week or something like that. Instead, today, well, there wasn't a dip. That's it. Coinbase absolutely off to the races. So you could have wanted the long, ended up in like other places, but even then, like ended up in Uber on a dip, and even then didn't hold that one long enough. Coin, you want to talk about where it could go next? Well, here to like 270, I think looks like a little bit more of an interesting level. Why? Because it was a big rejection from 60 to 70 the last time we were here. But yeah, all systems go for Coin. I know a lot of people were thinking it was going to be Robinhood, but it's like, you kind of go down the line. It's like everyone gets their turn, and Coinbase was up first. Robinhood's just going to have to wait for somebody else to come out. And right now, it's like the names coming out are just when a deal closes. I think in this case, was it Discover? Like, it was a deal closing, and that's the only reason Coinbase gets in. So either you wait till the end of a big quarter, end of the year for Robinhood, or you get somebody coming out the indice. But on Friday, it should be interesting as well. I'm not chasing this move up here, up 25% on coin. Sorry, 24% on coin. But 260 and then 270 would be the next key levels. On a closing basis, that's at least big resistance.
All right, what's up to everybody here in the chat? Look, I mean, this is the thing. You know, obviously, Charlie, what's up, man? You know, he's saying, bro, same. I thought I was golden selling Tesla earlier. Like, you know, we're going to make those decisions, and it's just a matter of what your risk is versus where you think the market's going to go, right? Like, I'm starting to get out of some Nvidia even right now. I mean, we just called this play right there, and now Nvidia shoots up as a top name. And even right now, like, even the amount of shares that I have, I could get out right now, and it would be a great play. So I got to be happy with my decision if I were to say to get out now, right? But you just got to sort of try to play what you're playing and go from there. You know, at the end of the day, I've only traded 4 names. So we got to try to focus on making money when we're in the names that we're in. And sometimes it happens and sometimes it doesn't. But hey, man, if you're making money, that's better than a lot of people in this business. As we know, we talk about it all the time. Day trading is definitely a hard business. So congratulations to putting money in your pocket. I mean, you know, and I'm going to do it again right now a little bit on Nvidia. United Health getting absolutely crushed right now. New lows on UNH, 313 and change, now down 17%. Oh, that's not on the list. Okay, good. On a replacement of the CEO there and a new CEO and withdrawing full year guidance, which is much more important than the new CEO.
So I'm going to count it off. UNH, because the Dow is price weighted.
Right.
So 1, 2, 3, 4 going on 5 names will pass it in the Dow in terms of weighting. It's going to get passed by Home Depot, Sherwin-Williams, Visa, Caterpillar, and then next will be McDonald's. And that's in one day. Why they, whatever, right? Price weighting to me is ridiculous, but that's how the Dow does it. And that's the reason Dow is down, because Microsoft's doing nothing and UNH is getting its, you know what, handed to it.
So we...
Well, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, yeah, I just went on that tangent there for UNH because we saw, I heard it in my ear. But yeah, just trying to get out some more cues here as we're at the 50-period moving average as well. So we didn't get our 57, but we just got a 52 there. So we're pretty happy with that one. Let's see what winds up happening here near the end of the day. We're still trying to climb here with Nvidia as well. I'm out of 30% of this one in and around the 50 marker, looking to get a little bit higher. Look, man, I'm a big shareholder of every single name on here except for Robinhood. That's including Coinbase. That was a call that we made back earlier on in the year as well. That's in my portfolio. So is the Dow. And so is SMR, man. SMR, we were long that name. We are long that name at 11 and change on a breakout that happened like maybe a year ago. It already went up to 30. I didn't do anything about it. Let's go find out the story on SMR.
It was September.
Fantastic look, boys, today for SMR. They did report earnings this morning, and they absolutely destroyed expectations. The street was looking for about $4.25 million in revenue. Check that. $13.4 million they printed, guys, up almost 25% near the day highs.
First off, Ash, if I was going to short coin, it would be waiting for a 260 reversion. If. I don't think I said I was planning to. I said if. In any level. The only reason I can say it was September on SMR was because this is when it like regained the 50-period moving average and then had the big volume breakout, was just shortly after that. And you know what the best thing about it? So that level where it did the break last year ends up being your support. I think it's going squeezing. Yeah, it's going squeezing again here. But I don't know if you get back into the highs. And these, whether it's the quantum names or whether it's the nuclear names, one thing they have in common is no one's actually making money yet. It's just about the growth and then the shorts getting squeezed. So it's at a good level here at the 23. I think it gets into the high 20s, and that'll actually make some sense to take some profit. But I didn't buy any back. I took profit on the way up in this area last time and didn't buy back in. So I will not be taking profit the second time because I didn't buy back in on the recent dip in SMR. As far as it goes today, I'm not really that keen. Like right now, the market's barcoding. It's got this like top, fail break the high, lower high thing going on, which I usually prefer in the other direction for a short. So I'll probably stay away from SMR here today. But I do think those mid to high 20s are a good opportunity to take profit in there if you were a recent buyer in the low teens.
Look, if you missed all these names, we have Oklo tonight as well. So join Adair and myself and the aforementioned Brian Shannon. All right, so URA, again, this is a uranium ETF. It's been pretty hot fire, needless to say. I mean, everything's been hot fire since those bottoms, but this is really starting to catch fire. Nice move back there to the upside right now with URA. So, you know, lots of room to go, lots and lots of room to go here on this ETF. So I would just say, look at this. We finally today break through the 200 period moving average, and now we're starting to get a little bit higher. I mean, I really like URA here as we continue to grow the space. You know, if you don't want to pick an individual name, you don't have to. Like we said, NEE is, or NNE, sorry, NNE, Nano Nuclear is another name. Let's see if this is going nuclear today. I'm not sure. Yeah, up another 8% there today. So some of these names are finally starting to get going. So we like them all, especially SMR. I mean, SMR had that. Did you mention the short float on this name?
I think it's like 22.
That's, I think it's in the 20s. Yeah, let me just double check what Benzinga Pro has right now for SMR. Yeah, 22. So there it is. 22% there for short on SMR. So of course that's new scale. So congratulations, man. Big, huge day for anybody that believed in SMR. So again, I just, okay, so we're done. Thank you everybody for all of that. Let's get back into some trading, although we've been trading on the side. And this just goes back to that Charlie Taff and Ozan and all that kind of talk about, like, you know, I'm mad when it goes up. Like when you're long, trust me, man, trust me, bro. When you're long down here on Tesla at 318, when it's something that you've written down and it's at 336 now, and the most you have is $7, that's great. Because when you're taking the $7 and the stock is down here, you're like, wow, that was a good look. You know, I'm glad I did that. So you can't always judge where the ending trade is. You could have just maybe said, where could have I got longer? And again, wasn't completely my fault, right? I mean, I wasn't here, it doesn't matter. But this barcode right there, I was here when it broke higher. So that little barcode, then the break right there of 323, that could have been the long. And then we'd be just as happy, right, as if we held that. So, you know, there's room to make more trades. And I heard Joe say it today again, and that is that, you know, there's always tomorrow. And even if you had lost today, like I said, it's very possible to lose on any day, whether or not you're going long or short or whatever your plan of action is. I even sometimes write these down completely perfect and lose on them somehow. So, you know, it's about trade execution. It's about being confident in what you're doing and being able to, again, come back tomorrow. And this is the other thing about it. And I'm trying to tell this to Joe and Obi for sure. He knows about this. Well, we all know about it, but it's like, you can't have maybe a bad day or something and then lower your shares the very next day, because of course you're going to lose. If you lose on 1,000 shares and the next day you come in and you're trading 100 shares, just hang them up. Because you got to go through a little more through the ringer before you decide to say, hey, because you've had a bad day on 1,000 shares and you go down to 100 shares, it's going to take you 10 wicked days to even make that back. So, you know, you want to stay confident, stay in your zone for sure, and don't trade your style because one trade kind of goes ham like this, either for or against you, whether or not you're shorting or long. You know, that's just a great trade. And I want to look at Palantir as well. Like, I knew that 30 break was going to be a little difficult, but I took it anyways. You know, we got out. Our best outs are in the 50s. Then it dropped down, and you guys have seen me so many times play. When a stock has come back down, we've reloaded, and then the thing just is absolutely taken off. So I still think Palantir can do that, but it's not stopping me from taking that trade, you know, regardless of what happens. So, you know, you got to trust in sort of what you're doing and not just hope for the best, but plan for the best, but also plan for some downside, because, you know, that can happen, obviously, to anybody at any time. And it's kind of happening now with the Qs kind of falling back a little bit. I think was that a call for Adara? All right, then let's go, Fabian.
We have some news here in Airbnb. CNBC reporting that the company is launching a redesigned app and a new services business. As you can see, it did get that initial reaction to this story. We have this wick into 138.50 is currently trading now, about $1 or so lower than that. So Airbnb, bit of a reaction here. Keep an eye on this one. CNBC reporting that they've launched a redesigned app and a new services business. Back to you.
All right to you. All right to you there.
Just to add to that point, from our personal experience, and Sean and I had our own floor when we used to trade Europe, there was a strategy that was spoon-fed to traders, essentially. It was a technical-based strategy. And I remember the worst thing that could happen is you'd have 5 straight days where it was really, really good. Because what would end up happening is on Monday of the next day, almost everybody that had been spoon-fed it would up their share, like 20%, 50%, everyone would up their shares at the exact same time. They wouldn't up it as it was going, they just up it on the Monday after every single day the previous week was up. And if on Monday everybody lost, it'd be like the worst day anybody's had their entire month, and then on Tuesday they would go right back to the same thing. And there was a couple of traders, a couple of guys who didn't have that problem. Lo and behold, they were like two of our best traders at the time, but you just couldn't do it. Like if you made that bump because of a week's-long success, well, then you kind of need to have that much failure to tell you that you shouldn't have done it. But as we come back in here, Apple's retesting the support level that we're at before, like 212. 20, as long as it's above the prior high, which is 211, I don't know, call it 80 or so, because I stopped out at 12 even, but they call it in here like 211.80. As long as it's above there, I want to take every single dip and curl as long as it wants to continue to go higher. Like, it just looks relatively strong. For everyone looking at Tesla, my goodness, even when it does a pullback or a topping tail or all the normal short signals, they just keep buying it up precipitously. It's so tight to that 340 level at this point. It's difficult not to want a reversion when you see something like this. But I stick to, if I'm going to go short, this morning is what's not breaking out when the market is. That thing which is continuously churning highs, maybe not that. I was able to get a good one on AMD when it did the last trend break. And now it's respecting the other side of that trend line and holding underneath the high of the day with 113 as a top. That looks a little bit more reasonable for a short. Is that Heavy D in the chat? Or is it Miguel?
Up in the limousine.
Yo, I haven't heard Heavy D in
long ass time.
Now that we have love, what are we going to do with it?
Yeah.
That was a joint.
It is.
Oh,
yeah.
that was a joint. All right, so look, I like AMD to the south side, mostly because, like I said, it just hasn't been able to break out that high and respecting the trend line in the other direction. Like the previous trend line, now was just...
All right, yeah, so again, good talk here. Good talk about some trading, good talk some music. And then I want to talk about the Nvidia play that I'm in right now. I am buying more at 130 if you someone was asking there. I'm playing against this. Look, I initially thought we were going to run. We break that. I mean, it was 100% right. You know, but I can't, you know, we take that break on the 200 period moving average, it runs. But it only runs to 50s. So the most we got was 20 cents or at most. Our best outs were 49s, a bunch here. These are all pretty good outs, like 47, 48s. And this is, again, what I'm talking about. Like, if you don't get those outs, then now you're like, oh, my God, I'm holding the rest. And then, you know, so you just got to figure out your strategy. I'm going to buy a little bit more. These wicks have come into these levels, but not enough for me to get any action going here on NVDA. So we'll wait to see what we get on that. But anything down into 130, we're going to buy. I'm at 130.01s, and we'll double our position. And then we're going to give it to 80s. And if we break that, then we're gone. I'm just trying to piece it out for you to see where we go from there. We talked about some Microsoft already, SMH, Disney. What's Disney doing? Disney had a good quarter, right? I mean, they got up over 100. Yeah, wow, okay. Yeah, so this is another one of those names where maybe now I have to think about getting out because we're starting to break some, not breaking any rules, but I've already canceled my Disney Plus, so I should maybe get out and put this money now and buy Disney Plus forever with the profits. But yeah, up there, 114, 116, 118, 122, like, you know, we gotten some out up here the first time, but not nearly enough, and then it fell all the way back in, right into an ultimate crazy buy zone there for Disney. Like, back in my old days, if I wasn't so, like, I'm getting more conservative the more money I'm managing, which is not necessarily great. I would have been like buying Amazon and Disney and all this like crazy, but I was getting a little nervous thinking that there was more of a move to come here with all this China and tariff stuff, but it looks like there wasn't. There goes Disney, man, right back up to these highs. What a great, you know, the House of Mouse right now is running rampant, grabbing that cheese, man. Lots of mozzarella in here because I think mice like cheddar cheese, I think, or the mice like the stinkier cheese. I don't know what mice. I don't know.
They have a preference?
Do they? I think they do.
That's new. Look, man, I don't know enough about that. I think
the stinkier stuff, I think. But I think they'd be able to identify. Anyways, I don't know. But the house...
I know about mice comes from cartoons.
Think about,
I know nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I know. You just put it outside of the hole. Doesn't everybody have one of those door holes in their house where the mouse just goes right in and comes back out, and all that kind of stuff? But all right. So there goes Disney.
fairy doors.
Anyways, great move higher here on DIS. And, up to 112 again. So that's a good little level there. I mean, bringing it back in. I don't really know why. I just want to talk about this. Breaking through 110 there. I thought we were maybe a little closer to 110, but we're not. So there it is, man. It's a good little level there for the house of the mouse, because Disney right now definitely starting to print upside. Congratulations on anybody that has that name. Mice like everything. Nutella. Oh, I know.
Soap. They ain't eat no soap.
They don't eat soap, I don't think. But they, I know that they eat peanut butter. So I've set a couple traps in my life. Not that that's very humane or anything like that. And they go after peanut butter.
My neighbor set trap.
Peanut butter.
No, my next door neighbor was always setting.
I'm gonna buy some Nvidia.
We would get them setting. We would get them after they've been poisoned. They would like die on our property, and I would have to clean them.
That's the poisoning. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's
better just snap their necks.
Yeah, like I kind of, that's what I'm saying. Like it's better, like just do something that doesn't have them.
It's more humane.
It's just way more humane. I couldn't. It's really terrible to see.
We've done the catch and release part too. It's not.
Well, I've done that.
We haven't had mice in our place in a while.
Well, there was one, and my daughter was like, Aaron was like, can you set it free? And I'm like, sweetheart, and like if I do, like he's poisoned. He can't move. He's just gonna go out there, be able to not move, and then die. So I said, look, the best thing that we can do is put him out of his misery painlessly. He's not going to survive, and you don't have to watch or anything. But it's a tough thing to have to explain to, because she had it right. I can't stand that poisoning thing. Anyways, that's a different story. I'm going to try to jump back into. I'm not back into Apple yet because it's not curling. So Apple's still pulling back. Maybe it'll hold off to 212, but we didn't hold 4 the first time, or it didn't hold 4 on Wolf. But then it tried a second time. So I come in for half the amount. I had to stop pretty much under the same bar. I want to give this a couple of shots here. I really like where it's at. And maybe it's a day 2 play tomorrow on this news. And ultimately, it is better if it closes above the $4 level on the 200-period moving average. But I want to give this a shot because it's a pretty key level in here. And if it can break out the high, I think it's got room to test at least 450, if not higher. It might be a tomorrow thing, but it'll take a couple of shots as long as it holds 4. So the stop's underneath 395. AMD, which we just got into, again, I think this is a station-to-station play. It's like the short before, like play it back into 112. It's an upward trend in this market, and it's not like we're breaking down heavily. So I think you want to make sure that you're getting yourself paid on all these shorts. Like, just look at Tesla, right? Like, how many red candles do you actually get in this market today? So when you get one, make sure you get something out.
Yeah, good luck there. Yeah, we definitely want. We're getting red candles right now in Nvidia, so it is falling back in again. So some of these breakouts, like we talked about taking Palantir as a breakout, and we're well aware of the risks of doing this. And it's not like Nvidia was a breakout, right? I said Palantir, right? Yeah, that was the 130 break. That's what I meant. This was a break there of the 200 period. I thought we could get going again. I mean, the 200 period today, it's just like basically even yesterday, right? Like we broke it right there, and we just kept on riding it all the way until eventually 330, which is, I guess, kind of close to where we are now a little bit there. But right into that level of 122.50, right? And then finally broke it right there at the end into 330, and then a little bit of a rally at the end of the day to close at the highs for Nvidia yesterday, hoping for a similar fate today. But now we get stuck. See, it's just like, this is what's different from day to day, right? Is things are changing here literally on the fly. Like yesterday, Nvidia kept going upside. Today, maybe not, right? I mean, the news story today, obviously, as we continue to go, different news than yesterday. I mean, Nvidia could be losing a little bit of steam now, as we just really steamrolled all morning, and then all during the midday, finally finding a top there at 131.20s, but hard to predict that stuff. So we'll stay stuck long here. Again, I'll show you the level 2. We're going to get out right there if we break. That's 80s, so it's the real bottom is 85 or so. We're not in that much trouble, man. We're long at 14s, but again, you take too many cuts like this, whatever, it's not gonna work out that well. Like even right now, I have 700. Well, we don't discuss share size, but we have that. We have a good position, and we're going to lose on it, so it's going to be a bad trade. Looks like we'll lose a couple $100 here on the way in, but we'll wind up seeing what does happen. And the TQs also are starting to pull back a little bit. This trade is a little bit better because we're able to get out of pretty much, again, like I have so many shares. I've traded thousands of this. It doesn't matter, but I'm going to say probably about 20 to 25% left right now, a lot of outs. And we're trying to hold for a little bit longer, but you could see right here, this is trying to get down, right? I mean, the futures are trying to do this. I'm, again, trying to play momentum long. And, you know, some days we'll sit there and we'll lose, right? We'll take hits and we'll get caught up. So it looks like right now we will. Yeah, it looks like we're going to have to step out of this one very, very soon to getting triggered out of 129 right here, breaking of 75, which we're right here right now. So watch out now because Nvidia's coming in pretty hard one more time. Like, can't win here, it looks like today. We tried that break. It doesn't work. Now it's coming back in. Bye-bye goes Nvidia to the downside right now. Let's see if it can hold out, though. We need some sort of a news story to hit ASAP. But there goes Nvidia. Let's see what winds up happening. A little bit of a relief rally there, but not much of one. Nvidia heading lower.
Well, the second buyer showed up at 112.30 on AMD. I punched out. Because that's what the market has been telling me. The second buyer showed up at 112. I punched out of the short before, and the second they showed up here at 30s, I punched out again because the market's been telling you all day long that you're not getting that big of a dip each time. So we'll see. Maybe it goes all the way to VWAP. Apple just bounced into prior support into resistance off 112 into 212 into the quarters. Right, Apple's 212, AMD is 112. If I make the mistake, you guys know. Obviously, Apple's more expensive. So it was holding on to that prior high where I actually got stopped out of the short for now at 212. So let's see if we can bounce back up a little bit higher. Even Tesla is starting to catch a bit of a bid here off 334. So you got a couple of red candles on a 3-minute. The other thing to keep in mind here, on a 15-minute chart, Tesla has absolutely broken trend on the 15. Like that much. Oh, like usually, like that's a pretty clean trend break on Tesla. Almost like a retest into 34, 30, 35, I should say, 36. Like that area there would usually be a short. That's a long trend break on Tesla. I don't know that I'd want to be buying that dip. When it goes that parabolic, when it sets up on the 15, I think it's a bit of a different beast. So for now, Apple has to be. We'll see if Apple can go. Wolf is flat. And Benton C, we get this question every single day. Do you have a guess on UNH bottom? You know, Benton, I could guess, but what's the point of that if I guess? You know, like I don't think, like what, you're going to buy, anyone's going to buy, whoops, sorry, I just moved my UNH chart there, my E-signal chart. Anyone's going to buy UNH because someone looked at a weekly chart and said, oh, look at that, there was a 320 level, it busted through that. Let's go even further back and look at a monthly chart and see what the next significant level is. Oh, on a monthly chart, $280 looks like it could be something important. So what, is anyone going to rush to buy UNH at $280? Or maybe we could wait until this thing stops falling all over itself, which we say every single day, and I'd rather be late to a bounce than catch the falling knife. This is like the worst stock in the market today. I don't think you need to... there's so many things that are strong right now. I don't know why... I know humanly why we always try to catch a bottom, because it's like, wow, if they get it together, they can be back at 480, and that's a 50% move. But it could also go down to 240 first. On a monthly chart, 200 looks like the best level, if not 280. We're at $318, or check that, $310. So I don't think you want to mess around with this. And what I can throw, all I will do is look at technical levels because there's no major moving averages to work off of. And it's, yeah, they got issues, man. Say the same thing about UNH every single day. And you seem to get the same question. I get it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, you know, you guys would know a little bit better than us, being over there in the United States, that, you know, a lot of things are changing. I just closed my...
Yeah, like I don't fundamentally know that.
Yeah, like the healthcare is changing over there, you know, the way the drug plans, like all that stuff. And again, like, you know, don't want to talk out of place, but I mean, we just see the news over here. Our healthcare is, you know,
very different.
Very, very different. So hard to judge where some of these recent changes will affect some of the drug plans out there, like a UNH. All right, I just took a little bit out at 98 there for some reason. This name bumped in the night, which is pretty good. Nvidia there goes bump in the night a little bit off of 120. I mean, it's not doing anything. I wish it would go a little bit higher, but we did get out of, I guess, I don't know, 10%. A little bit less than that. So we're going to try again, actually, as well. I'm waiting for another 10% here at 130 flat. Hopefully we can get that, and then hopefully we'll ask it when moon. But it's not going meme crazy like we've coined that a while ago. You can watch NVIDIA just swipe, 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 no swiping. Shout out to Dora. But it's like right now it's not, Swiper is in no fear here. NVIDIA is not going nuts. It's trying to hold the bid, great, but it's definitely not giving me those feels of like this thing wants to rip up. I mean, I still want it to, don't need it to, but would really like, I do need it to, actually, I'm long, to get above 130.30. Like that's that last area that we punched. So yeah, man, I do think we can get back up there, and hopefully it will get back up to there. Let's just see, first stop though, higher right now for NVIDIA would be nice, and then we'll worry. Like if I have to worry about this 130.30, then that's a great problem to have. So let's go, wipe that out, Swiper, keep swiping, swipe that 20,000, get that out of here, and then we'll trade above that 130. We'll get out of a little bit more. Then my next stop after that is the 10s, and after that, we ask it, when do we get into that 200 period moving average? So I'm gonna go get a coffee. You want a tea? The thing is, I don't know the situation back there with all the teas we have. I'll go look. You know, if you want one.
I don't think there is that. I like that peach tea, but it's not. Don't worry about it.
Okay. I'll see if it's there.
But you know what? We talked about it here, and I know we're going to do something tomorrow with this. Go Leafs, go! Because if you're looking for top tier odds and total control in the midday, people wanted to look at the Knicks, assuming it'll be the Knicks. Well, I like the Knicks anyways in the next round, but assuming it'll be them, people want to put money on them, the odds are going to be here. And you can trade them instead of just place your bet and walk away. The other thing you get with ProfitX is full API access for automation. You get cost-efficient trading of your bets all in one place. They trade your favorite sports, make offers, place bids, sit outside the market. If you want, swipe the book so you can take all the action, and you can do this in one place. ProfitX is a smarter and faster way to play. Use the code TRADERTV to get the sign-up offer of 2% cash back up to $300. And as you can see, I already have it lined up. We won't do anything till tomorrow. Obviously, as now there's a little more action on the Leafs. Well, I mean the Leafs Panthers, but we only care about Toronto Maple Leafs. You're going to find the lines here much better than pretty much anywhere comparatively. We've done that price check time and time again, but I'll be a little more interested in it tomorrow. Oh, the PGA Championships coming in there. That's the first. Look at wow, the most traded. Like the Pacers is 280K. There's 2 million already on the PGA Championship. Brendan, when is the PGA Championship? I'm not a big golf guy, so I always have to ask other people. You guys tell me in the chat when the PGA Championship is, because 2 million means it must be happening pretty soon if there's that much. It must be this weekend, I'm going to guess. I only know a few names in there. All right, Wolf, it's not really doing anything. It is not halted. It's just not moving. So I don't know. Like I guess some people, if you don't have like level 1 or level 2, like level 2 access, you're like, oh, a stock's not moving anymore. It seems like it's halted. It's not. It's just barcoding at the $4 level. I jumped back in when it held 96, but my stop's underneath 95, and got back in when it got above $4. So I'm in at 402 again. I'm not offering until it gets back into some of the more reasonable highs in there. So it's not really doing a heck of a lot. I see Apple is trying to go, but nothing too crazy in there. And AMD, which I punched out of the short, feel like that was, I mean, it's looking a little bit better now. It got a little bit lower, but still, I want to say lagging a little bit here. Like the market's in a very tight, like the Nasdaq's in a very tight range off the top. Oh, the peach one is there? Okay, I'm blind. I'm old. But you know what it is? It wasn't on our side, and now everything's over there. Thank you.
Yeah. So I think it's always been.
Yeah, well, with the Studio 8, we used to have like the trading floor here with the studio, had our own kitchen, and then there was a kitchen for the back office, and they're knocking our kitchen out, and the algo room's getting extended. This entire place is turning into studio. So the algo guys are all sitting right there Well, one of one anyways. Although I can see
The algo department is
I
strong.
can see Joe's feet sticking out over there on the bridge. So yeah, that's what all the changes are. Like
You mean fake Wayne? Fake Wayne?
Fake Wayne? Well, it's not fake Wayne.
I call him Wayne all the time.
Do you?
Jose. Yeah, it's like, hey, what's up, Wayne?
But his name is Joe.
I know what his name. Yeah, his name is Jose. We call him Jose.
I know it's a running joke is Jose's feet that you can see there.
Now the new
No,
running joke is Wayne.
And it's going to be fantastic, everybody. Studio 8 is not just about us knocking stuff down and making it look new. It's about making the experience better for the viewers, right? So we're going to try to get to the point where you get more interaction from all of us, more of us at the same time, better conversations, sight lines. Everything is going to be much improved, but it's going to take some work, and you're going to see that happening. You'll hear, hopefully, not too much disruption when they're breaking things down. Oh, there you
got
go.
the camera
Well,
going.
that was the kitchen, and now they're stirring a bunch of chairs. They're knocking out the kitchen.
Yep.
And oh, there you go. Now you can see the trading floor.
Here he comes.
There's Jose. Well,
Hey, what's up, Wayne? There he goes, right there. He's focused, and here we go.
Focus, man.
We're coming back over here. Where is this guy going? Which level is he going to come to? Coming over here?
Come
over here. Turn around. He's not live, so he's not there. We don't have to worry about it.
But you have to understand.
Okay.
Usually they do
I don't
it
even,
live.
It doesn't matter. We're doing actual trading here, guys.
Come on, Facebook.
There it goes right now. The biggest P&L trade of the day is being had right in front of your face right now, as there goes Nvidia, man. When Moon, here it goes, man. NVDA. Look, man, sometimes trading 100, 200 times is not a great idea, but we didn't really do that. We only had a couple hundred shares here of Nvidia. There it goes. Nicely cooking right now. Up there to the upside. Let's go. We actually held on to some of this. Nvidia now starting to go. Let's start to get a little bit more out here at a time. I'm only getting out like 3% at a time. We make back a lot. We put Nvidia right back up there. It is now the #1 P&L name on the board here today for us. There goes Nvidia. Ciao. Nice move back there to the upside. And we're being followed by, again, another one right now, another banger on board. This is what we have to talk about when you're having success and you're confident. Right? I said this to Joey Money over there. Let's ramp everything up, guys, because this guy's hitting winners. When you're hitting winners, you got to go, right? There it is, man. We said we'll have a problem if it gets to 30. We're not having no problems now. As we go to 130.45, there it is, man. Trader's going to trade. And haters going to hate. Hate. As we continue to go up to the upside, we ain't hating anything, man. We're loving life. We are long on life, man. We've got chess tonight. We've got, no, we don't. We have volleyball. We have basketball. We've got hockey and baseball tomorrow. My daughter's got to make a decision. We spent that money on the bat, so let's get some money back. Yeah, she'll probably choose hockey, but baseball's a regular season game, so I'll probably force her to do that.
I'm biased.
Hence, coach. Yeah, huge upside play right now. The one thing I have to tell you about hockey v baseball, and everyone's going to be different. There's girls right now at High Park that have just started. They've been playing baseball since T-ball, all right? So they're 11, 12 years old. They've been playing 6 or 7 years. They've been playing hockey about 2 to 3 years. They will spit on baseball to play hockey. It is absolutely wild right now. Like hockey, and I think it's because there's playoffs now and people are very excited about it.
Well, this time of year it's not.
I can't even convince the girl, like they're like, yeah, I know we have practice, but we've got hockey practice and we'd much rather do that. And it's about, and we've talked about this before, it's a camaraderie, right? It's like, hockey's a completely different. Joe can attest to this, obviously, as well, is that, you know, what you're doing there is you're getting ready in the locker room. Like, you're all getting changed together. It's like, it's a big sort of, to do, going to every single game, going there an hour and a half early, getting locked and loaded, getting ready to go, as opposed to baseball, which how it happens, at least at High Park, is everyone gets dressed. They come ready, and it's great. We have a great bench.
Unless you play travel ball. Travel ball is the only time you get that same thing.
Yeah, but even travel ball is, you don't, like, so even for our rep teams that we play Little League, you know, you go to the hotel and you get dressed, you go into your car, and then you show up at the games. But yeah, it's the camaraderie, and it happens in all sports. But, you know, as a little kid, it's like soccer. I love soccer, you know, but like the kids just show up dressed and ready to go. There's no like partying it up in the locker room after or before. And that's really helped my daughter's confidence grow. a million times through. I mean, she's already a social.
We have that at the
butterfly.
beginning of the year. Like, I think like last year I had the same thing. Like the kids that are still playing hockey,
they're nuts.
you don't get as much turnout because like baseball starts for my daughter tonight, and it's like I do assistant coach because it's hard for me to get downtown and commit to making sure I'm there with the bag. So I only assistant because I know sometimes I'm gonna be late. But there's always a couple of kids that aren't showing up. It's like, well, why are they late? Well, until the hockey season ends, they're just gonna be late. And that's just how it is, which is fair. But I'd rather they do multiple sports and like it that way. Just very quickly here, look, we got that pull back into Apple. It dipped right off 212, which sometimes you know the level to buy because that's the level that you got stopped out in the other direction. Really, that's how it works sometimes. But we came right back into resistance at 212.60.
Oh, that's why
it
he told me to print off 10
and then I jumped out. So ride the trend. It's no different from AMD. Like AMD, we shorted it. The second the buyer stepped in, we jumped out. I don't know if I want to jump back into that one. We're going to go into scalp mode on all of these types of names here. Wolf is at 4, and I'm in at 402. It seems like that's not doing much of anything. So a couple of good, like both Apple and AMD give the scalp trades. We want one short into the bottom, and then Apple might go higher, but I'm playing it out into the lower high. It's now 3 o'clock. We're in a I didn't see the graphic. We're in a power hour.
Yeah, it did hit.
Yeah, and Coin did kiss
the power hour.
Oh, it did. Coin hit 260, and there you go. I mean, I said if I was going to short Coin, I would short at 260. Not that I was going to short Coin at 260.
All right,
What a beast.
Yeah, what a beast. You know, traders unite, man. I mean, this is a huge move there for Nvidia, a huge move for the Qs. We're happy as you know what. All right, from sports to Geek Squad. Dungeons and Dragons right here. So I printed off 10 of these copies. My kid wants it. I just asked Fabian, what's going on over here? So I got to figure out, like, you got to pick a character. You got to do all this kind of stuff.
So that's a bit busy.
I know. And the thing is that I printed off 10 of these copies. So Fabian goes, I'll give you a piece of advice. Use pencil. So I don't know enough about D&D, but my kid's going to, I've done this with him. We went to the immersive one, and so I know there's a whole bunch of stuff on here. But yeah, I've always been interested in Dungeons and Dragons because I don't really understand how you could play a board game with okay. Yes, so what is that? So then you move 17 spots or something?
That's attack.
Oh, that's the attack. Yeah. See what I'm saying? So, anyways.
Well, I don't know it any better.
Dungeons. I don't know it very well.
We
either,
played Monopoly for money when we were kids.
Oh, I love board games. Yeah.
Yeah, that was our jam. We'd get 3-for-1 pizza.
Yep.
Which was, by the way, that's not like a 3-for-1 pizza. Isn't some kind of a joint.
I think it probably still exists.
I don't know if it does. It was like a single local spot that was near our high school that was called 3-for-1 pizza. It wasn't like a chain or anything. And
you could get tandoori chicken pizza.
Yeah, you get whatever you. It was a good deal, man. We didn't have no money back then, and we played Monopoly for money and take each other's coin. But I don't play. I'm a nerd, but I don't play Dungeons and Dragons. I've never done it. It looks. I didn't realize it was
tandoori chicken with a side of samosa.
I'm never.
All right, what is the Leafs odds? Because I've already bet them on the series.
It's not clean enough yet.
Oh, it's not.
Remember,
because we had to wait for the next day.
That's the thing. For Profit X, you always wait till day of. Actually, I didn't check the series price. No, see, look, the open interest is still not that great. It's only 360. I think you have to wait till game day.
Oh, that's the series. But what is there?
There is the game.
Yeah. Let's see what the game is saying.
It's right now you're getting 119 on the money line.
Oh, that's pretty good. And how much can you drop on there? What does it show? 1,700.
Oh, but
what is that? Plus 119.
That's going to double up by tomorrow.
Dude, that's way better than what's on. I'm going to go to DraftKings because I always do FanDuel. So
if it's that good, then we'll do it now.
I'm doing it now. I'm already telling you do it now. The odds doesn't really matter to me. It's going to be better on Profit X. I already know that. The Leafs are favored, so that's why I'm saying to you, we should probably do it now. Don't come over to my screen yet because I don't. No, you could if you want. I don't know where the sports is here. Springtime bonus.
They got too much stuff over it.
Look, I went to DraftKings.
Figure it out, DraftKings.
Yeah, okay, hold on a second. DraftKings sports.
I blame DraftKings on that.
Online poker, online slots. Forget it. I'm just going to FanDuel. All right, do not invest in DraftKings. I don't know what's going on over there. All right, so now don't invest in FanDuel either because this is not even loading up. All right, we'll get this going in a couple of seconds to figure out what's going on. Join now, new customers. All right, all these landing pages have got me all twisted up. So, all right, let's just.
I'm just going to place it anyways.
Yeah, just place it anyways. I just want to compare the odds. So you're getting, what are you getting?
119.
119. Okay, we're gonna figure that
Every single time we've checked, it's been better with ProfitX anyway. So like
sportsbook.
Whatever.
Yeah,
it's not like this is going to be the one. This is the one day that they're not going to have the better line, right?
No, they do have the better line. Here it is. NHL. So I finally found it. Hey, welcome, guys. I'm trying to use the internet for the first time. No, it's actually the same line. So it's plus 120. So, yeah, the same line right there on the money line for your Toronto Maple Leafs, hitting tomorrow at 7 o'clock. All right, let's go over to the NBA quickly. I just want to see who's playing tonight. Maybe we can get roll some of this hot hand in the dice game over here. We've got the Indiana Pacers looking to close out, I think, against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Right there, Cleveland, 8-point favorite. I would take the dogs on that one with the Pacers plus 8. So that's a little look. What's up to SGA? Shout out to Canada. Again, as the best player in the NBA is Canadian. And they are 10-point favorites against the Denver Nuggets.
I take Jokic.
That was a blowout, one of the games. But I guess now they're back in OKC, at OKC. So that's where Denver got away with game 1, but then OKC blew them out game 2. And then this is tonight? This must be tonight again. Oh, wow. Okay, Knicks Celtics. So I don't know about your Tatum philosophy there because
he left on a wheelchair, man.
Celtics are heavy favorites. So he must. Oh my! Forget about this, man. This is nice. Gambling is very fun. Shout out. But right now we are not trying to gamble away too much. We are watching Nvidia go higher. So there it is, man. 130.64. We've almost got $1. So we're putting a couple dollars in our pocket as we go a little bit higher right now. And we're also printing on the TQs, man. What a fun afternoon it's been. Whether or not you're trading, you were just in position.
Apple's at the high. I'm out, but it's at the high of the day. But Apple's about to break high of the day. What's weird is the only thing not going right now is Tesla, believe it or not. Like, it's weird. Like, the market's back up at the top. I mean, Nvidia's going, Apple's going, AMD, which we were short, that's actually going up. But Tesla, it is losing the bid a little bit. And then Coinbase lost the bid at that 260 level. So a lot of the early leaders in the, I guess, I don't know.
Early leaders in the clubhouse.
In the algo, I'm thinking about the algo drive that we had this morning. Like, those are starting to pull back a little bit. Speaking of the clubhouse, it is this, you were gone, but I was asking the crowd when the PGA Championship started. It is this Thursday.
Oh my God. So I just got an email. I was going to tell you.
Yeah.
I just got an email 1 second ago from FanDuel, honestly, and I didn't even log in. I didn't do anything. And just got an email from FanDuel about the PGA. Honestly, right there. They must have saw that I was typing in DraftKings, and they're just like, yo, send this fool, because I don't ever win.
Well,
so
everyone's always listening.
Investing right now. Do you believe in that? I actually think that there is some sort of thing there.
You know what? I used to subscribe to that whole tinfoil hat stuff. Holy, really? I refreshed, and there was 2.1 million open interest on ProfitX, the PGA Championship.
Yep.
It's now 2.6, and it's by far it's bigger than anything I've ever seen.
Golf is wicked.
Total amount bet. No, but the Masters wasn't this big on ProfitX.
What?
I don't think. Anyways, who's gonna win? Because maybe
Masters.
We should do something. I want to bet
McIlroy or Scheffler.
So we should bet the no on the chalk. No.
No what?
Bet no on whoever's chalk. Like
well, they would be chalk, both those guys.
I want to bet the no. I don't want to bet the yes.
You want to bet no, so you want to say like no. McIlroy's not winning. Yeah, you could try that. Yeah, they're not. Golf is like almost impossible. Like
you can't. Yeah, like,
the competition is just so intense.
Exactly.
Over there. All right.
I'm jumping.
We're telling you guys that we had a little bit less. We have less than 50%, and we just got out right there. I don't know what just happened, but maybe Adara does. What's up, Adara?
No, I don't have any news here, Sean. I just want to let you guys know, here is our TTV Research earnings calendar for tomorrow. It is a very light day. We have Cisco after the close. We're going to have to see if that dumps like a truck or how that one holds up. We also have CoreWeave after the close. It is reporting well after the close at 7 p.m., but that would be CoreWeave's first post-IPO earnings report, so that is definitely going to be something to watch. Bitfarms before the bell as well. Now, in terms of some company events, we have quite a few tickers to watch out for. Coin, Robinhood, Micron, and PayPal all attending this JP Morgan media conference. And we have a couple Fed speakers. Check this out on X at TTV Research. I'm looking for news here, guys. I'm not seeing anything come through on the wire, but I will let you know. Back to you.
Yeah, well, the news is the market's got a little euphoria in it. So with about 50 minutes to go, 40 to the imbalances, I'm going to continue to try to play range. If I can get back in. I might have missed the curl there on AMD. Like it gave you a distinct test of 113 and then a lower high. So I'm looking for the same thing here at 112.80, and then we'll see if we can't play back into this. The other way to think about it, which I'm actually considering here, is just looking at, I don't necessarily love trend lines that don't connect to a bigger long day move, but if it were to break down underneath these two bottoms from the last shorts, then a play into VWAP with a tight stop could also make sense. Apple is too far gone at this point. I mean, I'm not shorting it, I'm not longing it up here, but I think the next available pullback may be on Apple, because it's really starting to break out. And the best part about Apple is it could just be the start. Apple has not broken out its local high, believe it or not. 215 still has to go. We might get that tomorrow, and then suddenly this can join the real euphoria. Like Apple hasn't done that much. It's only up 1% today, 215 still has to go. I don't know if you get that today. The next available dip, like anything that trends down and gives you one last dip buy, trends down, and then get the curl, going to take that shot over there on Apple. Sean Shin, what's up with the airlines today? Big fat, I don't know.
Are they moving around?
Not on.
We haven't
honestly,
even looked at those.
Have not been on the radar. The cruise names haven't been on the radar. But high of day, I guess everything's just at the. If you're not at the high of the day right now, you're UNH. Yeah, this looks. I'm not really big on the airlines. I think you trade them, don't own them. It's like the opposite of what people say about the Mag 7. But when they are breaking out, holding the 50, that looks really good. I mean, I wish I had looked at these earlier. Like, that's a very clean, it's a gap, so you don't get the breakout trade when it breaks this prior high above the 50 period. You have to take the gap up or maybe that break, which is not ideal in my opinion. That looks really good. What really grinds my gears is I don't short anything in my long-term account. I never have. I just don't. But I'll never forget when I was looking at, don't own airlines, you just trade them. And everyone's like, look at how good the airline's doing. And I was watching this trend line on AAL. And I did nothing about it when it broke, because I don't short. But yeah, when they trend away or break trend, they get rather violent. I think that works in both ways. If I had to pick, I tend to prefer day trading in the Carnival or some of the cruise line names. And very similar setups here, but already breaking the 200 period moving average. Just more strength. Carnival looks nice. Maybe primed to make a run for 24 here. But yeah, next trade for me is either this Apple dip buy that's allegedly not going to happen because Apple's just going higher. So obviously we got out early. Still going, still going, still going. Chi says thoughts on China.
Cheese?
No, Chi.
Oh, okay.
Chat. Chi.
We have a friend named Cheese.
I haven't seen Cheese.
He doesn't care what's happening in China.
No, I don't. You know what? I'm not a buyer. I'm not a buyer of Alibaba up here. I'm not pulling the trigger again. I think it was a fantastic buy when you were getting it in the 70s and the 80s. And the missed opportunity to me was when it pulled back into the 200 period moving average. I want no part. I'm not adding back. And I told you I took another. I'm down to a third of the position because I took a third out when it broke down, and that was. Hindsight being 2020, maybe I shouldn't have had that stop in there, but I did, and I didn't buy back at the 200 period, and I'm not chasing the move on the Chinese ADRs. I feel way more comfortable when I sold some of my Alphabet position, just putting it into Meta the other day. And Meta's near highs, but I feel way more comfortable chasing a move in Meta than I do chasing it in Alibaba.
All right. Yeah, I don't know. We have Brian Shannon on later on today, who is definitely against all Chinese.
Yeah, he doesn't
names.
like them at all.
All right. So, yeah, just getting out now at the high of the day on the market. So, yeah, I mean, we nailed this one, all the way back in and there. I mean, the TQ trading that we put on in the futures, either Joe or myself. I don't think Joe's had one this week, but maybe he has. I've done really well on doing some of this, and it's just because it's trended into the afternoon. So right now we're trying to trend a little bit higher, and we try to look for tops. And if you're looking short, if I wasn't in a position right now, this is also a decent area to think about shorting, because you're coming up into a level that we've seen 3 times basically, right into here around noon, and then again at 1 o'clock, 1:30, then we came back up at 2 o'clock before having this epic fall down, which we took advantage of. Man, we bought that dip. That's what we were waiting for. We were waiting for a move into the 200 into this area, and that happened. It happened again, and we did not reload it because And again, this is like where it's everybody's sort of own way. Like I don't want to be too much long, because then if all of a sudden I reload this and I put on the same position and it comes back in, then all of this profit that I've taken up there is now waxed. I might as well just kind of stick with the same idea and understand that there will be ebbs and flows, and then hopefully the flow is higher from here. We're waiting at 69.80 to grab another fill. So tonight's report is Oklo time. So Oklo's about 10% short float. So it's not like a huge short for the nuclear space. We did get I don't think the report was even, Reef said that SMR beat, but I don't really think they did they? I thought they were pretty bad. Not that it was bad. I'm just trying to find it. Oh, we don't have it on our watch list this morning. I'll have to go.
For the record, SMR did actually miss on EPS, larger than expected loss per share, but sales significant beat. 13.4 million versus 4.26 million expected. That is much higher. That's like basically more than 3 times higher the expected sales. Sorry for interrupting.
No, that's good. Yeah, we wanted that. So, everybody's favorite investor, Martin Shkreli, hopefully didn't waste too many people's monies calling all of these plays right down into nothing. He called QBTS worth, I think, $1 or so. Same thing for Rigetti and all that, and that was a little.
Well, I think he at least had a positive number for IonQ. It was really bad.
Yeah.
It was really bad, but it was the only one that he didn't think was worth 1 cent.
And today the thing is, it's not like these are doing that great. SMR, so. Again, it has nothing to do with
market cap,
nuclear names. So I don't know why I went from quantum over here.
Yeah, I'm mixing up quantum.
Back over there. But I just want to see like Rigetti was downside there today, and QBTS a little bit. Well, QBTS is okay. Like, why is TELUS phoning me? Like, these guys are crazy. I might disconnect if I get too many more calls. But there it is. Nice little move down there for QBTS today. Maybe worth buying against that $10. But no, Oklo looking for a report tonight in and around 4:15. Let me just see what Adara wrote down there for the time. 4:05. So revenue estimate $1.5 million. Not that good. EPS still losing money of 11 cents. Implied move looking at 6%. So just looking at the daily for Oklo again there today. Like, I still think that a lot of these nuclear names, like an SMR, like Nano Nuclear, like they're all still buyout targets at some point, I feel like. But I don't, like if an Amazon were to buy out an SMR or a Google or something like that, and I don't know where the power needs are for all those companies, but, at some point, you're going to need a new source of power to power this AI revolution. And I think that's what's really sparked. I mean, a lot of these plays were really hype early, and then everybody, I'm not saying anything that anybody doesn't already know. I mean, it's already sort of affected many of these names, including right into here. Amazon even mentioned at one point, I thought they mentioned SMR. So this was a while ago.
Doesn't have any sales?
And you could see Oklo? No, revenue $1.5 million, I think.
Okay.
Is estimated. Maybe they didn't even have that much last time. But there's SMR. I think it's a sell in this area. I'm always long only, but definitely starting to learn to take out some profit. Oh, update alert. Oh man, I did take out 10% of Palantir. I forgot. That's why I had the hat on. I forgot to mention to you. I was sitting at 130. So I got some out, and I actually got out above 130. I was like 130.25, something like that. Because once it broke, I was sitting here. We weren't on air or anything like that. And I was thinking, the last time it was up here was earnings, and I was sitting here watching it, and it pegged this 130 and did not, like, there was basically an unlimited seller there, and it just went right back down into the downside. So I did, and this is only in my swing account. I still have the full load, which is like, the prices. We talked about getting long when this thing direct listed, but getting out of sort of the swing account, which has turned out to be like years of holding this trade. But Palantir, look, I got some out in the 50s and the 60s and then completely stopped. So right now, we'll pat ourselves on the back a little bit. Congratulations to everybody that does have Palantir, because this has been a monster move higher. Single-handedly winning that competition because of this one stupid stock. It was $74, $75, all the way to 128, back down to 75, then back down to 65, then all the way to 130, then back down to 106 again. Like, this is a roller coaster ride that many just like my face there, it goes up, it goes down, and so I think taking a little bit of profit out. So less than 10%. I think it wound up being 8 or 9% or so of Palantir. We wind up taking some out near the top. So I don't want to say long only forever, but we did sell some Google the other day as well in that 156 area. So that's a mistake because that is now 160, I believe. And then we bought some today. Yeah, 160. So a little bit of a mistake there. I only sold a third of what I had basically across the board on Google. So now we're sitting in a little bit more cash, but we did deploy some of that in the long term this morning, right here, right now at 750. So we did buy some
Google into
Google into
Eli Lilly.
Yeah, I don't really do that whole like. I should do it like I'm in cash. I should do something with it.
I don't always do it. It's just there's certain moments where like if I'm ho-humming whether I want to sell something, then the only way I end up pulling the trigger is if I predetermine where I'm putting the money in. Like I feel like that gets me over the hump of like, oh, I've been talking about selling Google for Google for a while, and it was only when I was like, well, I don't mind where Meta's at right now, so let's do that.
Yeah.
It just gets me over the hump of I just don't like selling.
Nvidia doesn't want to go
because I might have some gray hair, but I'm not that old. I just feel like I know, but like it's just what you buy and you hold, and it just works so well. You don't want to do anything else. There was something else.
The buy and the hold just worked amazing because I opened up the account and it was like I'm close to sort of. I'm not near the top of my account. Well, I am near.
You gotta be.
And it's just like it's because you didn't panic and sell. And like I was telling everybody before, like there's a lot of people that we know that everybody knows that some people liquidated in and around some of those bottoms. And maybe if it's not, look, tell us, man. Look at these guys. Tell us business again. What are you guys doing to me?
They're trying to sell you something.
Right,
maybe you should figure out. You should sell them. Everyone in this scene in Boiler Room, everybody.
Hi, good afternoon.
Where you get a call, and then they're going to try and sell Sean something right now. What Sean should do is he should critique their sales.
Yeah, this is Mr. Sean, but you have to call me back after 4:30, if possible.
I'm on speaker. Speaker.
Yes.
Speaker.
What do you want? What do you want to offer me? The brand new iPhone, or what do you want to do over here?
No, get the Pixel. I like the new Pixel. Everyone who craps on the 9, I think it's fine. He's really gonna do it.
Yeah. I need new iPhones, so we'll talk about that. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, we're live now. Okay.
Shout out to Tal.
Yeah. All right. Call me at 4:30. All right. Ciao. All right.
Of course they're trying to sell you something.
I'm not answering. No, it's that was just for fun. I just wanted to hear what they had to say because unless there was something
what's
up,
the offer?
I don't know what the offer is. She says, we have deals on iPhone and this and that.
Okay.
It is what it is right there. But maybe they catch me on a good day here. I could pull the trigger. I like to do the pay as you go. Like I'm at $40, so I have
the best way to get
3 lines: mine, Baxter's, and my wife's, and it's $40, unlimited, everything.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
When
calls to the States?
When did you get Baron a phone?
Baron? More about Gia, probably 6. I don't know, 7. I'm not even sure. And they have phones with lines and everything like that too, right? So, I mean, I think it's like...
We have a smart watch but no phone.
Smartwatch is pretty good. I mean, it's just a matter of
it's like what step do you want? There's a tablet. She uses a tablet at home. It's like, did she...
No, I think it's just about the use of it.
She doesn't really need the phone.
No, and that's what I'm saying. Like, if you don't need the phone... Like,
it's just
for
like
example,
once one friend gets it, that's the...
Yeah. Well, it depends on, like, how much... Like, your kid's probably not outside that much by herself. Like... My kids go to the park and this and that, so they like to have their phone.
Really, because like they play in the street around the neighbors.
Yeah, and then you could do the Find My, so we know where all our kids are all the time, right? Because if they have their phones on them, then we know exactly where they are.
That's of course key.
We
live in really good times, everybody. That's the one thing that like I don't care what anybody. The one thing that always grinds my gears, to steal something from Homer Simpson, is when people fail to acknowledge the world is not perfect, but we're the luckiest humans in the history of humanity. We all are. And not everyone is in the perfect situation, but is in a general sense. Everyone's a lot better off. So we should always be really grateful and like blessed.
What's Nvidia
and all that kind of good stuff. This is a good one, Chung Ho. First things first, like I was saying before, I'm going to get to that question because it's a really good one. Whatever dip you get, the second I see buyers step in, I throw a bid. And if I see a support, I'm throwing a bid again. There was, where was it? There it is. Chung. Which would you own, Nvidia or Palantir, at the same price? Well, you have to qualify this.
No, they're at the same price. That's why he's saying that.
So you mean like right now?
Yes.
Right here, right now, I would buy Nvidia over Palantir. And that's it. It's just I feel more comfortable with the valuation.
What's up, David?
Like buy one at an all-time high, and remember I
Put
was
that
just
up as a poll.
like I felt like Nvidia, like to me, Nvidia is only breaking the 200 period today. Like
yeah, there's
right
lots
now,
of room.
yeah, like it's got lots of room to the high, whereas you're getting Palantir on the break of the all-time high when it's already extended a bit. Like to me, this is just breaking out on Nvidia. So that breaks the tie pretty easily for me.
No, Andre, what would you rather own at current price?
Yeah, because that's key.
The actual price doesn't matter, but you are right. Like here's Nvidia 130.07, and then Palantir. We just punched 130 long, so we're close enough to that one. My choice would be Palantir, of course, but I think I own actually more Nvidia in my account probably than Palantir because I've been buying Nvidia since I was a wee one. So that's a good look there for Nvidia. And Palantir, we've only been buying it for the last 4 or 5 years because that's what it's been public. So here it is right here. What would you rather own right now? That's good enough. We don't have to get too specific. I'll just say I do think that Palantir is obviously. What's going on? Yeah, okay. I think that Nvidia is a much safer play. But for right now, I think I would play the momentum upside with Palantir. But I understand that both are very interesting plays. And great question. Thank you for asking that in the chat. And this is what we're all about, man. I mean, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Join us all up in the chat. All right, just quickly, I'm only working these 2 trades, right? You guys have asked me what my plan of action here is on Nvidia. How about get out? So I just got out more there on that bump back into 10s. I am trying to buy. I'm still sitting here at 82. It goes as low there as 90s. So the reason why I'm at 82 is I don't, like, as I just mentioned here, we, you know, like notionally we had like a much bigger position, you know, right there. So we could always go, we could go 10 times bigger than what we had. But we were comfortable with that. We took out some profits to the upside. We brought our day, you know, back to something reasonable. And now I just don't want to load up again right there at 130 because let's just say you put it on, you have whatever X amount of shares, and then it breaks back down below there and I punch out. Well, just by reloading and then losing the full 30 cents or whatever it would be on the full lot would overtake all that profit. So I just got to do better at making sure that I'm loaded up there, and I did that, and that when we come back to the upside, I have some more targeted outs. Like I'm sitting here at 19s, and I'm just doing that because it's ahead of 130.20, like a psychological level. But now, of course, it has a problem, and there it is. Give me those 19s. Give me that. Yes, we got it. All right, so we got the 19s there again. So getting out on the 50-period moving average. Here we go. Let's see what winds up happening. I don't really want to average into Nvidia. So good question. We'll play the long the rest of the day. I still think Nvidia can go $1. I think we can break through where we've already been and then maybe even close near the high of the day. So let's see if we can get going. I mean, it would help if, and would really help if we run to Adara and she's like, oh my God, China is going to buy millions of H100s, but I don't think that's what's going to happen. So we'll watch out for
It's
Nvidia.
the Saudis that are doing that.
And go, yeah, let's go. Let's get that Arab money back in.
Here's the headline
Nvidia.
Right here.
Right.
It was an hour ago. They're deploying 5,000 Blackwell GPUs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Well,
anyway,
deploy 5,000 more.
let's go to Adara.
Actually, don't have any news for you guys. As always, I want to let you guys know, check out our X at TTV Research if you want tons of market-related content. I started a series last week inspired by Lyft's issue where an extra zero slipped into their guidance and the stock tanked. This involves Google. Basically what happened was before they were Alphabet, back when they were Google, back when the CEO was this man, Larry Page, on October 18th, 2012, the company accidentally released its earnings early. The printer made a mistake and they pressed the button early. Led to this drop in the stock here. One of the quotes in the report, actually, because they were waiting for comments from Larry Page, just said pending Larry quote. So you can read about this and a whole bunch of other earnings snafus, including issues with Walmart and Groupon on X at TTV Research, always posting little series and pieces of information for you guys, both historical and real-time news. Back to you.
Sean, like usually, man,
Yeah, I don't remember.
Usually we'll remember stuff like that. I remember when Affirm did it. I remember the flash crash. Like you don't forget things like that. What, were we like not trading that day? I do not remember that day for Alphabet. So it's interesting. I remember when Affirm did it because
Too long ago.
no, that was I literally got stopped out of a short 10 minutes before Affirmed accidentally dropped their earnings report and got tanked. And it was trending up. It did like a mean reversion, just sat there, and then broke the high again. And then they released early. And of course, this is back when everything was a disaster for them at that point. And yeah, it was nasty. But Alphabet, crazy they did that. Mistakes get made every now and then. Although at the end of the day, sometimes it makes you wonder. It's like it shouldn't be that easy for someone to accidentally release something that has billions and billions of dollars at stake. You'd think that would be the case, but who knows?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many insights.
Invest in cybersecurity companies. Go Crowd, go Palo Alto, and probably some stuff that other people own, but those are the ones that I own. So AMD doesn't want to go any further than the 50 level. So if I see the buyers, then you just got to be able to get out when they do, and I'm going to go break even stop on this. It's not falling the way it was before, and I didn't get the right entry either, right? Like here, good entry. It works right away. Good entry there. I think this one a little bit impatient. It doesn't break the top, but then I don't have the actual clean entry up here at the 70. So I'm going to hold on, see if we can get down to 112. But for now, it just looks like there's maybe not enough juice to come back into the downside on that. And Apple, I still feel like Apple, I think it's gotten away from us here. The last dip didn't dip as far as the others, so I didn't pick it up. And it goes right into 213 and continues to go. So Apple, I think that one got away from us a little bit. Someone's saying imbalances. It's 3:30. We have 20 minutes to the imbalances. You got that DNB penny stock, which is there every single day. You can't really trade this. Most people can't really trade that thing, although I think you probably could at real trading because there's like millions and millions of shares. But it's the only thing on the early look. I'd suspect it's there every single day. But the problem is, oh no, never mind. It's not DNB. DNB is not the penny stock. That's the buyout. I get them mixed up. There's a penny stock with a similar ticker. No, this is the buyout that's not going to move. Like this is the chart of the thing that has the imbalance. Like it had it yesterday and it was meaningless, and it's not going to move more than a couple of cents anyway. So you can take maybe the spread, and that's it. I'm thinking chip names and even Tesla will be the things to look at here for the end of the day on the imbalances. It's always Nvidia that people care about the most, and it's the one usually with the biggest. But early look is a heck of a lot of nothing. And for Nima in the chat saying end of day sell-off, it's not really happening. Like to me, if we're having an end of day sell-off, then like a stock that wasn't breaking highs, like the market's had no troubles getting to highs, like AMD should be falling more than it is right now. If Tesla's really at a top, then why isn't it breaking? Like it's got this, like it's actually putting in like higher lows since the last volume breakout. Higher lows. All the way up top. So until it breaks something like that, the acceleration isn't going to happen. If it does, different story. But right now it's holding the line on that's not a steep trend line, which I'm not a huge fan of because it's so easy for it to be a fake out down here with a little bit of time left. So you're really not getting much of anything. You can hold on when you're in the money, but even that's tough. Like I got out of Apple way too early. Way too early.
Okay. Yeah, what's up? It doesn't look like Brian Shannon is DMing me. Yeah, all good. He can't make it today, so that's all
Brian,
good.
No.
Yeah, no Brian today, so hey, all good. Or next week. Okay, I got to get this. I'll have to tell Brendo about that one. But shout out to Brian. Thanks for messaging, and that's okay. Like it's what happens. Sometimes
I like talent,
around here. So shout out to Brian. Thanks for letting us know. But no Brian Shannon on tonight, which is fine. I do want to say congratulations because Brian Shannon, I was going to give him the award. He was named the 2025 Educational Content Creator of the Year by StockTwits. So congratulations, Brian Shannon, for that one. And yeah, good one, my guy. Congratulations. I don't know if he's watching or not right now, and I'm not sure where he's at. He's probably celebrating. But yeah, congratulations on that one, Brian. Great work on that. All right, so yeah, end of day sell-off, I don't know. But we're at the 50-period moving average, and I just keep on getting out and getting out and getting out. We have like now 20 to 25% left of this position, and I don't think I'm going to get out of any more. So I have one at 30s to get out. That's the high of this range. If we can do that, that's great. And then we'll see if it does go upside. I'm going to buy some dips into 80 if that happens, and if it breaks 70, we're out. So that's the play there. As far as the TQs are concerned, we already showed those imbalances, so I'm not going to show them again. At 350, we're going to get a number. Yesterday at 350, looks like the market went to the upside. I think we were short yesterday and covered, before the number. So normally we'll do that, and we could probably think about doing that today. But with the market up right now, I do think that there's a chance the imbalance continues to climb into the close, the NASDAQ. So I think that we could get a good little bump here for that. So I'm going to hold. We only have 15 more minutes. I'm not planning on averaging in really to anything here. So I did have a lower bid for these futures if it did come in into 69, but I'm going to cancel that right now. I do not think we're going to be getting said bid right now. So the TQ's coming into play here at 69 and change. Nice upside play. So Nvidia, the TQs, and then we do have Tesla, which continues to hang out at the highs. I mean, what about a break on this one right here? 338, 337.60 or so. That could be a fantastic break right in there. So maybe we'll take that. Let's have a quick look and keep watching out for Tesla.
And one place where you can find levels like that on Tesla is going to be eSignal. And listen up, everybody, because the first month is still free over at eSignal. They're waiving the fees still, so you can try out a professional trading software and charting platform. You can hook it up to your broker, trade directly, hook it up to API access, have automated trades. It's very simple to use. It's very user-friendly as well. Whether it's tick charts, whether it's tick replay, whether it's all the indicators, whether it's some of the indicators that we use, level 1, level 2 access, the imbalance locator, it's all there for you all in one spot. It's an entitlement-based program, so you get to pick and choose what you want to add on and what you don't want to have so that you're not paying too much or more than you need for your trading strategy. And as I said, the first month is free with eSignal. It's a great platform. It doesn't hurt you. You try it. You like it? Great. Takes your trading to another level? Fantastic. That's what we're all here for. But if it doesn't, then you have no harm, no foul. So check them out here. And I don't know why I still have the UNH up when we're looking at that monthly chart, which, man, that doesn't look very good. Scan that QR card you see in front of you because eSignal looks very good, and then maybe you can find the level that UNH is going to bounce. Pick the studies that work for you there. Scan that QR code, everybody, and check out eSignal. And shout out to them. Appreciate it. Man, that UNH. I got to put something else up there. Like the market's at highs, and I keep looking at UNH. That thing is absolutely nasty. All right. I might just, yeah, let's do it. One thing that anytime you're like shorting the same level and it just goes higher, low, higher, low, higher, low, well, acknowledge the fact that sometimes it's trending up. So yeah, it might work every single time, but you're not getting as much out of it. So I'm jumping out at the break-even spot. I'm not even letting AMD go any higher at this particular point. Like really, it should have been an Apple hold. Apple's pulling back right now itself, but I'm not going to try and short this one. I think we're a little close to the imbalances up there. Good luck, James Choi. Oh, no, you didn't buy calls. Saying, or maybe you are. Good luck.
So, bang? I don't know. I mean, we're just waiting for Nvidia to do something. I mean, it just got up into the 200 period moving average, so I did put an offer there at 40s. Didn't even realize it. Like, it just happened pretty quickly there. We were just talking about its sort of demise there at 130. Now it's moving up to 130.40. Let's see if that can get going right there as well as the futures going higher and higher. Oh, what I want to show you was, look what just happened to Palantir. Went right back to the high. It just ripped $1 in 3 minutes, 4 minutes, and then right back that same dollar in the same 4 minutes. So like, this is minute charts, you know, so there it is right there, 50s, and then there it is 130.50, and that's 4 minutes, and then in the next 3 minutes, it comes all the way back in. So boom goes the dynamite there for Palantir. 130.40 is actually pretty much the high. I mean, we had talked about that earlier. The high actually on Palantir before today was, we just made a brand new high today, 125.41, Palantir's previous high. You can see we poke our head a little northbound of that. So good job there for anybody holding on to PLTR. Okay, we already talked a little bit about Tesla. Some of the other names that were in play, we haven't looked at too many banks or anything like that. I did sell, again, not a huge percentage of this JP Morgan, but we did sell some of it yesterday, so we're up today. I thought it was in and around 260 and change. Would have been yesterday around lunchtime, so yes, that would make sense. So Again, not a great sell, but a decent buy. We're long this name at 230, all the way upside now into 260, 263.50. And again, this is a name that, I told you that we bought it and it went against us, and now all the way back up. We got to make sure we take some kind of profit. And again, now that the recession fears are gone, apparently, we don't have to worry. Like, I think banks should work in this space. Like, they both, I don't know if it was JP Morgan, but it was Goldman and somebody else downgraded their percentage chance there of a recession.
It was gold by like a full third.
Yeah, so it's probably not going to happen. And nice upside move there for sure with JP Morgan.
What's Ramin's
I always know Ramin's here because I just smelled like perfume, and it's like, I know it's not from you. So if she's around,
well, how you know?
Yeah, I know it's only on Thursdays.
She's like literally.
I know only Thursdays, right, Neil? But I mean, yeah, no.
Why do I work for? No, just joking.
I don't know why. I wanted to ask you that.
I have no idea.
But yeah, 130.30 again coming up. But anyways, there's JP Morgan. Some of the banks continue to work. Citigroup, I think, has been a really nice one lately as well. And then some of the ETFs, we just sort of did that math looking at the ETFs versus actual banks themselves. And, the more
about the same.
I haven't really been buying many stocks lately, but trying to focus more on ETFs because then I don't have to worry about anything other than the sector. And that's created me to be buying in this dip. That's why there's not too many names. I've mentioned buying the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 more. The S&P 500.
You know what's looking better right now?
In this move down. And Eli Lilly today. And Uber.
The XLE is finally
that's going to be
going to close above the 50-period moving average. Way to join the party, Energy. It's been a hot minute. It's looked pretty bad, but it's looking a heck of a lot better now. It still hasn't really, well, whatever. It's lagging, but you've seen what's happened with oil. But remember, if we don't have a recession and things are getting better, I think there's a lot more that Energy can do in here. We'll see. Like, I moved on from, I shouldn't say that because I still own CVX. So I can't say that I don't own CVX, but I moved to dip buying XLE over CVX. I don't know whether that's actually been better. Chevron, because I haven't really been looking too much at Chevron anymore. I just still hold it. And I suppose I'm still a buyer because they pay me a dividend and it just goes right back into Chevron. So I'm kind of always accumulating. But you know what? Look, Chevron has not bounced as much. So the XLE has been better. There you go. Every now and then it makes some sense. There was something else I was going to get to. Oh, yeah, I was asked a question. Why not look at Intel today? Ooh. Intel is another name, closing above the 200 moving average. But this afternoon, it's unusually weak. Market's at the highs, and it's under VWAP. This is the problem with this stock. Too often it does stuff like this, where it's up, it's doing what everything else is doing at the open, which is breaking out, making fresh highs. Like, even technically, like yesterday's top with that weird, we never found out what that spike was about on Intel when it broke the high on huge volume, and it just came right back in. But it ended up holding that level of support. So great, it's doing what everything, and then all of a sudden, when everything is going higher, it just starts trending lower. So that pattern's still there on Intel, even if I think it's turning a bit bullish because it's above the 200 period. The day that it closed above, I wasn't really thinking short. If anything, should be starting to look for some longs off the 22. Is Tesla's about to do it again? The imbalances are in 5 minutes. The only, if we had done better, I'd be still in Apple, but I'm not. So I'm not going to take anything else until we get the imbalances coming through. Maybe there's an imbalance trade. We get like a reversion or something like that at 55, or just a gigantic imbalance that we can play into. But Apple, like it. First Solar, Daniel, that's been a rocket. Another stock making a high of the day here. We didn't even talk about First Solar outside of the pre-market when we went over the name. Shorts, hate to be you, because First Solar not only is squeezing them now, but I guarantee you that they trapped a boatload of people yesterday on that tax news. Because look at the volume when that's falling down, and look at the volume on the curl there, and then it curled again off of the highs. And this is all before it gets to like 330. So there are plenty of shorts that maybe they've gotten out, and the only reason I don't really mind is because it's only hedgies that get burned in something like this. Like, there's not a lot of retail people that are like, hey, let's look at a chart that looks like that, and let's short it. Maybe there are. Not me.
Yeah, there's, I like Starbucks, Duolingo. Yeah, I mean, that's a good stock there. FSLR, someone loaded up last night. Great job on that one. Today, of course, Donald Trump and a few others go to that Saudi forum there, talk about Uber, talk about Tesla, a few names there talked about AMD, Nvidia. But look what Uber's doing. Like this one, again, this has been a good one, man. We've been pretty bullish on Uber for a while, and you guys know that we were a little nervous when it fell back into our price into here in the mid 60s. We had first bought this, stuck our neck out, bought it at 80 when it came back in. I'm not sure exactly when it was, whether it was here or whether it must have been on the way back in. So probably here. We bought it at 80 and thought we were doing pretty good. And then all of a sudden it had this move. And that's where we bought more and then got our average price. I thought it was like 66, 67, something like that. We're able to dip by into here because we did have that bottom and then got nervous, obviously, during tariffs and everything like that, where Uber came right back into our levels. I was like, oh, great, like never sell anything at the top, and then thankfully we didn't sell it at the top again. And right now we're blowing out the top. There goes Uber, another 4% as we go to all-time highs. And I was talking about this when I was, came back from London. So it must have been in and around here, the $80 mark. So I think we must have bought it. I'm thinking like right here, but maybe it was right there on October when it came back in and then it did that. I was just really impressed over there. I saw those Uber boats and I thought, like, why don't they do that here? And then it came back in and we bought more and then we didn't buy more there. But nice move now for Uber. And it doesn't all have to be Mag 7 related. You make some plays like that there today. And they also, didn't Donald Trump also mention some J&J today a little bit? Over there as they have invested into the United States. And he did bring that up, but J&J just now, nice move downside as we worry, I guess, I don't know, is maybe a switch over from defensive names over to something more aggressive where we talked about growth. I mean,
look at Walmart today.
Is it getting hit?
It's almost like, yeah, Walmart got hit today. I think it's like when it was like in everything. Okay, it rallied a little bit off the lows, but when all this big cap tech, when Nvidia and Tesla start going again, sometimes there's just not buyers for the other stuff. So I'm looking at this and like, okay, that's what we want to do. Let's dip back into the 200 on Walmart because I think that's going to be an opportunity to buy it. Like, I'm only ever waiting for it to get back into a major moving average. When I think a stock is like really expensive PE wise, then I'm waiting for it to get back into the moving average. And I haven't bought, like I said, I haven't bought since March. We bought some at spring training. But if we get back down into the 200 and this move continues, whatever. Like I'm saying continues, like the local high is 100, it's at 96, and I'm acting like it's a big down move. It's not a big down move, but it's relatively weak today. And that's when we talk about that rotation for sure. Tesla's still not doing anything, everybody. Like there's not much which is going nuts that I can see. Apple's actually starting to roll back over a little bit. With only a minute to go till the imbalances anyways. But yeah, Apple's just lost 213. Maybe there's a chance you can get like a sell imbalance that flips. That would be nice. You get a sell imbalance, dip it into like 212 or VWAP, and then revert it at 355 could be a bit of a play. But 1 minute till the imbalance is coming. We'll let you guys know live.
So we have an announcement. So you guys know if you're looking at WonderFi, WNDR right there today. Kevin was here not too long ago talking about WonderFi down in here in the 20 cent or so range. Today it gets bought out by your favorite company these days, Robinhood. So they're getting taken out right there at, I don't know, it's 37 cents or something. So you can see what's been happening there with WonderFi here today. This is what the level 2 looks like. It's not going to break. Lots of size on the bid and the ask. And again, there's no really rebates here or anything. So you just got to try to play for gross as you are under $1. So watch out for that. And we do have tomorrow at 8:30. Mr. Wonderful himself will be back on the show, and we'll talk to Kevin O'Leary about everything WonderFi. We'll see what maybe his opinion. I don't know exactly what he's going to be able to talk about. I assume he's still a shareholder there, but I guess with it being bought out, we'll see how that goes. Brendan will be talking with him tomorrow morning early at 8:30, and then he always has some fun, so he'll probably hopefully swing by and talk to us a little bit. I believe it's remote, right, Brendo? Yeah, so he'll be here remote, not in person. And then the minute he's in Toronto, he's promised to come back. So also, the imbalances are now out.
Just hit.
So it's rally central right now as Nvidia tries to go back upside.
1.9 buy.
Go ahead. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
one.
I'm going to try to trade out of this.
I know, so SMCI is also 1.4 million. So Nvidia 1.9 million to the buy side, but look at the paired volume. It's actually 10 million paired. I noticed that second. So that is a large paired volume. Usually that means you get like the bounce, and then at 355 it's more likely to curl. Intel doesn't matter, cheap stock, but SMCI 1.4 million to the buy side as well. I mean, I see pretty much nothing else that's going to be big. BAC's there for 1.3, so the big one might be SMCI. I'd say that 1.4 is pretty big. I can't believe Bitcoin actually did get to 105.
Oh, really?
104.90, 104.99 or something like that. Or maybe actually to 105. I bid at the high of the day. Got to quickly show you guys over here. Yeah, it looks like we might have just wicked 105. I think that challenge is coming in for that. It was like 105.8 was a recent spike. But you're on one. Got to do play continuation today. And as I said multiple times, there's not a long that wasn't even better than whatever you expected. And Bitcoin was another one. Like now all of a sudden you're going to be breaking the 105. Maybe we get that all-time high this week. Although Joe said 119. When he was saying 119, I'm like, oh, he just means 109. We're going to get to 109 and test that high this week. 119, I think, would be way too much. But I could see us testing the all-time high this weekend on IBIT. And ETH also making some power moves as well, though I'm not very bullish on that. So I don't know.
I mean, I already called 109 by Friday, so I
Joe was like really bullish. I'm like,
I think we take it all. I think we take it all out there, as I am very, very much in this crypto game. I mean, we can quickly talk about it. Like I was saying, like probably had like 50 ETH and probably like 10 Bitcoin at one point, you know, but you get in and out of these things and you send them over. Like I got caught up, you know, in all these ICOs and this and that, but thankfully able to hold on to, you know, whatever. We talk about some of the things we're in, but we don't really talk about too much share size or anything like that. So I'll leave all of that. But you guys know that we really bought into XRP at $2, and now that's $2.60. So that's trying to go as well. We were part of early days with Solana. Solana's up another 25% right there over the last 7 days as we continue to go higher. I was in and out of Dogecoin. I'm not in that anymore, but what a move for Dogecoin, up 6% right now. Cardano is again, like when this was in the teens, it was a good trade. I don't know if it is right now, but up to 83 cents. I did buy some more a little bit when we got excited about Trump bringing Cardano into whatever that Bitcoin reserve was, and that's trying to move around again today, 4%, 6%. And I did, you know, we talked about it. Look at that. What a mistake that was. I got out at 25,550 right there for Ethereum. Now 2,700 for Ethereum, as that's going hard right now as well. So congratulations.
Big pullback right now in ETH, actually.
In ETH?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I don't know what it was at earlier today, but 2,700 right now. So congratulations, man. That might be a great look long on that. And just Nvidia. So when that imbalance came out, man, so I'm not bidding anything else to get any more long. We're done on all of that. So I might as well just start to cash out of more and more shares now, as we got a lot out right there when we ripped up into the 200 period moving average. So that was a great imbalance for us. And sometimes they do go the other way. And the same thing true of this. Like we're just sitting there, boom, right into those outs. And normally we're out of pretty much everything as the imbalances hit. Today we did hold a little bit, but the imbalances gave us those outs. So far so good there. We're not sitting here reloading anything. It is time to close the positions. I'm going to just continue to do that little by little. As we go here, the day coming closer and closer to conclusion.
Yeah, for now, SMCI is still the same buy, but Nvidia did pair off a little bit. Went from 1.9 to 1.6, but the paired volume jumped by 1 million, so it's a little bit deceiving. And there it is. It actually just went down again to 1.6. SMCI climbing a little bit to 1.5, so that's looking a little bit stronger than the rest. SMCI just broke 39 and through the highs. But there was no imbalance on Tesla, but just a heavy candle in there. It looks like maybe it finally broke that channel down, and then you had some profit taking. But they're buying it right back up on Tesla. There's a super chat in here for you.
What?
David, thank you so much, David. David's always very gracious with the memberships and the aftermarket show, and then the super chat. Wait 10 Bitcoin, Sean, invest in my fractional ownership of my racehorse filly named Melania because she's a runner. That's a good one.
I like that. I don't know if that's a joke about Melania.
Of course
or
it's
not.
a joke.
But yeah, I'll invest in that. I have also invested in like NBA Top Shots, and there was some Zed Run or something like that were horses that were Ethereum based and all that kind of stuff, silly stuff. But every trader knows that if you want to grow, you have to risk more. We talk about that all the time. Well, at least that's how it used to be, but not now with Trade the Pool, because you could pay a one-time fee of just $47. That's your total risk, and you get a real shot to trade up to $200,000 in company capital. You don't need a large deposit. You don't need years of experience. There is a limited risk trading platform built for any trader who wants to grow without putting everything on the line. Just a small skin in the game, and you're trading there with real capital. Scan the QR code that you have right now on your screen and get even 10% off that to start your journey today. We do want to thank Mitch Hoke from Trade the Pool as well, who was with us earlier on today and had some ideas. I don't even remember what his ideas were, but I'm sure they were decent. And shout out to Mitch today. He was talking about some different runners, I believe. We talked about nuclear names. He had talked about that a little while ago.
Hims had a strong
sometimes he leaves us. I don't mean like we talk about everything. It's a very broad-based discussion.
Yeah.
But he always kind of leaves with one idea, and I just don't remember. Was it SMR? There was one that he had mentioned right at the end, and he always kind of says, guys, take a look at this. Yeah. I just don't remember what it was. But anyway, shout out to Mitch.
With me was ARM, because like it's like, oh,
ARM may have been one.
He never mentioned, because that's ARM, not a name that usually gets talked about that much. So I do remember him saying ARM.
Yeah.
But then ARM didn't really. Well, maybe it did trade. I don't know. Like
strong arm.
Everyone has their own parameters for what they would do on a swing trade. And like to me, if you're looking at a resistance and you're trying to and you were going to swing something, I'm not speaking for Mitch, it would actually need to close above the resistance level and not wick the resistance and pull back. So I think ARM still holding some resistance here between 125 and like 130. But reverse head and shoulders looks pretty good. I mean, I like ARM, but to me, it's not a trade. It's a long-term play. Only 2.5 minutes to go for sure. And wow, they just bought it right back up. So there was a dip at 355, but Apple just got bought right back up. Okay, maybe not everything. Tesla, I think, got bought pretty nicely.
With DocuSign.
Got back up to the high. What happened to DocuSign?
No. That was, thanks. And this is how you know that people were.
Stock?
Yeah, what's up to Yannick there? Thank you. I mean, what an all-day look, man. Thank you, Yannick. I mean, that's great. It was. He did mention DocuSign, and it was, again, it was not necessarily like, what's been happening with DocuSign today, although if you did like that from the morning, it's a great one. $87, $88, man, up to $90. So a great call out there by Mitch on Docu. That's right, because he was talking about AI and changing the game a little bit there, and DocuSign. This is a name that I was involved with at one point in around the $60 mark, hoping for a buyout. And then I think it went to 80. It's up into here somewhere. No, maybe it was into here. I don't know, but I got out of it. I feel like it was before. Anyways, I don't know. Time goes by too quickly here when we're talking about stocks. I can never remember, but I thought there was some rumors about a DocuSign buyout a while ago, and it got up into the $80 mark. Oh, maybe it was right into here. Yeah, okay. So this is, no, but I wouldn't have caught the falling knife on it. Anyways, we were long in around 60. It went up to 80. There was no thing, and it came back down. I think it must have been right into here, getting out. So I took a small profit on it, but that was one of those plays. So thank you, Mitch, for all of that. Make sure you do scan that QR code. End of the day, scan the QR code. And join us every day as we have new guests, man. Raheem Alani coming through, I believe, tomorrow as well from OCI. And then Kevin O'Leary from WonderFi and O'Leary Ventures and all of that coming through there tomorrow. And I'm going to make sure to wear the Rolex and not wear my iWatch, even though today I've got the red on.
1 minute
so,
to go.
With 1 minute to go, we're out of everything, man. We got out of our TQQs there today, just right now as it started to go bump in the night. A bunch of outs right there. I was just like, whatever, man. We got out for flat there, that last little piece. And then a nice move upside into 40s. Good trading there with TQQs. Yeah, everything's pretty good. My best trade today, though, is Tesla P&L-wise, man. That's going to be the best one, followed by Nvidia. Getting long down there, a good trade. And then Nvidia as well. I got to go over to the desk. Well, I got a fun one on there. Oh, how cute. They're waving. Oh, that's sweet. Nice one. Join us on Instagram right now. Thanks, Ramin. With only 10 seconds left, let's go.
We'll show it in just one quick second. After we ring the bell in 3, 2, and 1, Adara. There we go.
All right, hold on.
Hold it up.
Is it on the stories or how do I pause? Hold on, I'll get in a second. It is a story. I got it. Okay, here it is right here. So this is going to be on my Instagram. Here we go. Get ready. So we'll push play. Yeah. Ramin, I know how to push play. Oh my gosh. There we go. We're waving. Bye. Thank you, Ramin. That's pretty cool. Whoa, I didn't see that part.
Oh, that's legit.
All right. There it is. What's up? Now you're going to see a bunch of hockey stuff showing up. So shout out to everybody on Instagram. I'm going to head over to the desk. That was really fun. Go follow myself. Go follow, I was going to say Ramin, but the main account there on Instagram as well. And if you want to see Sharif flexing and all that stuff, you can go find Sharif somewhere on Instagram as well, or find him on TikTok.
He loves TikTok.
Yeah, he does.
You know, because it's all those wholesome workout videos that everyone
He likes
to watch on TikTok. Don't forget, everybody, you do have some earnings. I believe we're waiting on Oklo, if memory serves. They are not moving right now, but just a quick little recap, because lost in all of the sauce is how strong everything that wasn't Dow-related UNH was today. 1.5 for the NQ because it was so tech. The ES only 0.6. And sometimes that's how it is when big tech goes, but Tesla closing 5% to the upside here. Nvidia closing 5.5% to the upside. Palantir, let me just double check PLTR. Takes a second. It's like, no, it's not 5%. 8% up for Palantir. Although I guess that 130 is still the spot. 130, of course, being the all-time high on the earnings wick, but still an all-time high close for Palantir. But that 130, a big one. Maybe we'll see it retest that again tomorrow. Got to give a big shout out. We had some issue this morning, and the boys were able to get that fixed. Great job, of course, by both Andre and Fabian, make us look and sound good all day. The Bash brothers killing it on the midday. Joey Options and Sharif, of course, and Ramin doing a great job with the socials and funny stuff, blowing us up, all the Studio 8 feeds that you're able to see. So you guys get an idea step by step what we're changing here with Studio 8. Got to give a big shout out to Bears versus Bulls. The bigger the show gets, the busier the chat gets, the greater the community that we have to manage. You do a great job of it, Bears versus Bulls. But you know what? It's not over yet. Why? Because you get to recap everything that happened in the wild market today, in addition to some earnings after the bell, and some, of course, great banter. And it all starts in just a little bit right now. We've got Adara, we've got Sean. No Brian today, but congratulations to Brian on the award that he won. He deserves it. Appreciate him. He won't be coming through today, but that just means you have more time to ask some questions of Sean and Adara in your market recap.
Zing is going to go. Yeah, welcome up, everybody. Thank you, Neil, for that one. Yeah, no Brian Shannon, so all right. It's all right. You got us. Adara, how's it going today?
Doing great. How are you?
Good, really good. We're going to have some energy back into this play right now. Make sure, yes. Who just said get it, Adara? Fabian did. Okay, get it there. All right, big day today regardless. The NASDAQ really kicked it off, man, going to near some of the highs as we close on the QQQs. But a little bit of a late day pullback. Oh, wrong screen. There we go. Thank you, Fabian. A little bit of a late day pullback on the NASDAQ. We got within, I thought it was 4.5% or so of all-time highs again today on the NASDAQ. Like, I can't believe we're saying that just a month and a half after tax or tariff liberation day there. I don't know if we're still calling it that or not, but seems to have worked, man. If they are collecting these tariffs, I know there's a pause, but we're going to wait to see what winds up happening. Most of today's rally, again, sparked by many different things. We had USA and China back on the forefront. We did have today the Saudi Investment Forum, which rallied various names. We talked about Uber's move today, taking out all-time highs. Nice move there for Uber. He did praise at this, I guess, what I just announced it there, at this forum. He did talk about Nvidia, and the Saudis said, give us some more. And there goes Nvidia to the upside, really rallying. We actually, Neil and I talked about this early on that move that Nvidia had. I was like, yeah, Google's having a similar move. Amazon got going early as well. There's some bad trade news right now. There, give it to us.
Not positive.
Is it the SPY?
No, it's just Financial Times reporting that China apparently is attacking the UK trade deal with the US. We're going to have to find out more about that, but I mean, that's probably not positive for all countries that are trying to make trade deals. Yeah, we're going to have to look more into that, but right now all I'm seeing is the headline. I just thought I wanted to make you guys aware.
Yeah, you know what? I should have thought about that, Ozan. I mean, I invited Chef Joe on the show before as well today. We just found out right now that Brian will not be here today or next Tuesday. So I think that I will maybe get a guest trader.
Oh, nice.
For next Tuesday, so maybe we'll do that. And you are welcome, Drops Trades. He says, thanks for the comedy while trading. It really helps with trading. So yeah, I believe that was the whole point of this show, right? Get together, talk about these things together. We've added obviously Adara to the mix here, giving us all the news.
I'm always down to be a guest trader too. So.
You can be a guest trader. Yeah, I mean, we love doing this with Adara on the daily. But yeah, thanks again. If there is any news on that, we'll watch it. I just went right over to the Qs to see if there's any reaction. Nothing. I mean, they're just criticizing. That looked like the UK deal. So, yeah, China's just probably worried about itself. So, we're about that. Thanks to Dan McIsaac. Does like that idea as well. Okay, we did have Nubank, right? Nubank was one of those ones. New Holdings. They are a bank over there. This was called by Warren Buffett. They were invested in this early. NU was, he called it the SoFi of Latin America. So we'll wait to see if and when Nubank comes out with their report, hopefully coming soon. I don't have it yet.
Oklo is supposed to be first. So
right, so we do have Oklo. We're looking for them today as well. Over 14% of a move for Oklo. And that would be really nice if we got that move because look at SMR. All right, we'll hit the bang button a little bit there as well because SMR reaching again, not new highs, but what a nice middle finger to the shorts today. The yellow indicates the earnings day. That was last night live on the show here with Neil and Nadera. Then we had SMR go bump in the night, and it didn't go at the night. It went during the day. SMR didn't look like this early. It just took off as soon as the bell hit, man. We're down to $18 again, and then we just took off. It was a whole day move and basically just gave it up at the end. We did top off in and around 1 p.m. there today in 22.50, finishing the day down $1 from there, 21.60. But congratulations to NewScale. And again, you want to look at names like, I just feel lucky with Palantir. I'm not going to say like I knew Palantir would go 10x from where they opened up. No idea about that, right? SMR's relatively new name again. They come out at $10 as well back in 22, now $21, so a double from their IPO. But look what happened to them. They got murked down to $2.50. So just like that, we can sit here and say, wow, Palantir's a good trade. There's lots of good trades. Nvidia, Uber's at some bottoms. But this is also a 10-bagger, even more than that from the lows. So sometimes it's about waiting for names like this to get going, pick them up if there's value. There's another name right now, and I don't think this is the same kind of a level thing. Like Peloton, this is another one. We've seen a name like CVNA, Carvana. Like, look at this one, Left for Dead. Right? You think like Morgan Stanley downgraded this thing $5? You know, it's got up to $300. So you want to talk about 60 times Adara? You put in $1,000 into Carvana down here and we don't even see you anymore. So there goes Carvana, a nice move there to the upside as well.
Yeah, I just said woohoo to Carvana.
Yeah, I was going to say like what a wild ride because when that goes from 5 to 10, you've doubled your money, then 10 to 20. I mean, the compounding is absolutely ridiculous in that one. So I'm wondering if we're going to have something similar. You're looking at a name like Oklo. This just came out at $10. They moved to $60 there as well. Now the pullback, and we wait to see. This is just a weekly chart for Oklo. Nice little month they've had there as well. And we've already looked at SMR. So we'll move off of that. Let's look at a name like a QBTS just to show you what's possible when you're in different spaces. We don't need to just be talking about Mag 7 names. Look at QBTS again. Like if you bought it on its IPO again, maybe it was a SPAC at one point, hanging around $10. Once it de-SPACs, it goes low. Wow, QBTS was 43 cents. So there's another 60 bagger up to 12 cents again. Wow, great move there on QBTS as well. All right, so I just wanted to show you some of those kind of plays as we'll wait to see when they come out right now. So I'm going to flip over into a 1 minute chart. So if Oklo goes, we'll bring that to you. If New Holdings goes, we'll bring that to you. But Adara, you've got news right now.
I do have news. I have Oklo news. Oh, I'm sorry, not Oklo. I'm tired. Robinhood news. Robinhood not moving much here, but it did report its April 2025 operating data. Apparently, their total platform assets by the end of April 2025 were a whopping, drumroll please, $232 billion. So shout out to Robinhood, $232 billion. They do also have WonderFi, that deal as well, so keep an eye on Robinhood. The other one is, thank you for bringing this to my attention, Darwin, because I wasn't seeing this on X, but I confirmed it via Benzinga. Uber on watch here as well. This one is driving potentially a little bit lower. Announcing a proposed private placement of $1 billion in exchangeable senior notes. Right now, it's not moving too much. But also, Sean, you mentioned Carvana. And actually, like a wild thing I've noticed. So, you know, last week, we were like, oh, eBay is moving because Josh Brown pumped it.
Right.
Well, actually, there was a post on X like hours earlier saying he was going to bring it up. So, and Carvana did the same thing yesterday. Or yesterday.
With Josh Brown again?
Yes, with Josh Brown. So if you find, but what I'm trying to say is if you see these posts on X, remember these tickers? Because I did that with Carvana yesterday, and it actually works. I'm not trying to be like, this is like, you know, an amazing strategy or anything, but if you track, if you have enough data to back test, if you see an X account say Josh Brown might say something later, just be aware that Josh Brown might say something later.
Right,
Crazy.
right. Yeah,
That's my take on that.
all good there. I was saying that, I mean, if Josh Brown wants to come on our show and pump any stocks, he can do that as well. Maybe move that chair away so you don't trip on that. No, it's just, I just don't want you to hit that by accident there right now. Okay, here's the move down for Uber. So yeah, good call on that one. Look, I think any sort of a convertible debt or anything like that, I want to buy on that kind of a news. That's not anything that's going to affect Uber long-term or anything. They do have enough money out there to hopefully fund whatever they're looking to do as well. Oklo, Oklo, a nice little move down, but I don't think it's anything to worry about. I mean, we closed out at $32. We'll parse through the numbers if they're even out right now. That doesn't seem like that dramatic of a move. The implied earnings play for them was 14%. I think that's probably reasonable. We did see SMR get going day after. That's why I wanted to show you SMR's numbers were what they were, and the next day it started to go. So just quickly there, SMR is a 22% short float, which is why that's the name that I'm in. Oklo, similar, 18%. You can see right there, 17.71% there. I don't have it here yet for Oklo earnings. Maybe they're out, maybe they are not. But if we look at it daily and we talk about 20% down from 32, that's got to give us $6, right? So we'll see if we get into $25, which would be the 50-period moving average. And to me, that's probably a buy. I like the space. Don't know enough about these businesses, so we will have to sort of parse through what this report is when it does come out. We are also waiting for new. I just wish SoFi had that Robinhood buzz behind it. SoFi again, oh, okay. My bad. Back up to $14. So I know that was a good one. It's Neil's left, but I thought he was selling a little bit down here at $12. I think that was a good idea as well, as SoFi has had it up and downs. Let's see if SoFi now gets going back up there. I don't believe that's all-time highs. Let me go to a week there on SoFi. No, up. This is close enough, though. Its all-time highs is near its birthday, it looks like. Yep, so that is the high that SoFi's ever been at. And by that, I'm just meaning when it IPO'd.
That's so sad.
Came out what?
Its highs are near when it's IPO'd.
Yeah, that's most stocks actually.
That's actually really.
Do you know the price of Rivian right now? Roughly.
Yeah, I know it at one point it was above 100, wasn't it? 100 something at the highest?
Yeah, it came out at 108. Rivian, right there. So did SoFi. SoFi comes out not at 108, 20 or so. SoFi does get as high as $23 or $24. But if you bought the IPO, this is why not all stocks are the same, which is why we say, like, even Coinbase went out at $360 or something IPO, traded low as $40 or $45. But yeah, SoFi. And I don't want to just hammer all these names. There was COVID. There was that whole money supply issue there in the United States. We did have a lot of names make these kind of moves. I mean, let's look at this name as well. When Peloton IPO'd, look at the money you would have made there, $23, $24. It ripped up to $150. So not all plays are built like that. So let's just, I don't want to hammer on all IPOs. We did have another good move upside for Shopify. Shopify is, again, one of those names. Look at this one where we IPO'd down here on Shopify. $15. You want to be long Shopify 15? It's at 107 right now. They pushed higher on a 2-day reaction after its pending addition right now into the NASDAQ. Bang. I don't have the Canada thing here, but again, successful company here based in Canada. Oh, there's our little Canadian flag there. Shout out to Trade Ideas for putting that up there as well. But they're trying to get higher as well here right now for Shopify. I had reported that they just made a brand new 52-week high, but I guess not. That was 126 and change. So yeah, not near 52-week high is Shopify. I thought they were. Now we did get a downside play. I know we have the weekly charts up here, and I think it's just something to do. We don't zoom out enough. We do on the show when we're talking about like stocks like this, because look at UNH today, Adara. I know it's a name that you've kind of talked about. I know you like to trade it here as well.
I do.
Along with some Eli Lilly. I did buy some Eli Lilly, but they sold off. New CEO now finally. I believe the old one was what? You had that graphic, 15 years?
No, so that the one that's coming back was there for 11 years.
Okay.
The graphic does not reflect, obviously this just happened, so that's not an up-to-date one, but UNH here, Andrew Whitty, sadly left for personal reasons. We were saying maybe he left because of the stock performance, but either way, what I think could be good, this might be a Bob Iger type moment, right? You have a company that's struggling very badly, especially with public opinion, because Disney, what you have to remember, public was not pro the other guy. They did not like that other Bob Chapek. They were not. They said no to Chapek, and
they got rid of him. Iger came back.
Yeah, and then we had Iger knocking it out of the Disneyland park. So good look there, right? So I'm saying I think this could be a good look for UNH, given that as a previous CEO, he was there for 11 years. Right. Seems like he had some good standing. It's not like an Elliott Hill situation with Nike where he never was an executive or like CEO type person. So I think it could be good.
We do have Lip Bhutan as well. Took over Intel around that $19 or $20 mark. That's up about 10%
that's good too.
From there as well. But it's easy. Like, this is the other thing, Adara. You're going to do these graphics, and they're great. But will the new CEO that steps in here at 312, like, even if they get a bump up to 3, back to where there was yesterday, they're going to look like a great CEO because they got this performance back in, but not necessarily the truth there. UNH, I think they're doing the right thing. I've talked about this. And by the way, this is your Profit X, I believe, market recap show. So there it is right there. Scan the QR code that's not on your screen now. That's for Trade the Pool, but the description in the link below. Me and Neil and I show you every day the better odds. It is in the link below, right? The Profit X? The link is in the the link is in the description, not the link is in the link, right? Click on the link to watch the show, then find the description. We've been talking now for 8 hours, so it's a little bit out there. Oklo, we're going to talk about that in a minute, but I just wanted to say some of these stocks that have been beat up there is going to be some value, and there was some traders talking about options. Obviously, will be expensive at these lows, so watch out for that. All right, let's go find out if there is any stories that are out right now. OKLO, okay, are we getting reloaded? Oklo down to the downside there, 31. I feel like it might not be out yet. Adara, let me know if it is. New holdings right now, NU. Adara's scouring everything. They may not be out yet either. So we want to thank everybody for watching us right now, although it doesn't look like these two monster market mavens are out yet with new holdings and Oklo. All right. Coin, you want to talk about a name that had some moves today, right? Coinbase, a major market player right now, as Coinbase showing itself 23%. I mean, let's give a big shout out to Miss Kathy Wood and anybody that's been buying Coinbase over the last little while. What a move for Coinbase today. Sort of just saying see you later to these lows. And we had talked about some of the lows that this name had gotten to earlier on this year. Obviously, as many of the names got hit there during the tariff talk, this was down to $140. Today, you get $100 on that, closing in and around $260. Congratulations for all Coinbase shareholders as they guide better. Good report there for Coinbase today, up 24%. And remember, WonderFi gets taken out for a 35% premium as well. Not to compare the two, but again, digital wallets, there's a lot of talk right now about Coinbase and what their next move is as well. A major custodian of all these Bitcoins that are going in and out of IBIT, BITO, and some of those as well. All right, Adara, you have Oklo. Let me just get what's going on right now. $32 for Oklo. It doesn't look like it's moving, but what do you got to tell about?
So what I'm seeing is, this is just only on X. People are circulating this on X. I'm not seeing it on Benzinga yet, so I want to make that very clear. But regardless, the numbers that it seems like people who are looking at this are going with are EPS at loss of 7 cents per share versus 10-cent loss expected. So that would be a beat. Inline revenue unchanged year over year. EPS up quarter over quarter. So kind of mixed report here from O to the K to the L to the low O. Also, someone was asking, when are we going to get our friend Kevin O'Leary? He's going to come in bright and early at 8:30 a.m. tomorrow. He will not be there in person. He'll be there virtually. But if you like Mr. Wonderful, if you like, people being the cockroaches they are, then which is iconic Shark Tank line, then make sure you check this out. check out the show 8:30 a.m. Should be a fun one, Sean.
I hope he doesn't call us cockroaches again. But yeah.
It's a good reference. It's a good reference.
Okay. Yeah. I as soon as that happened, a person that he works with messaged right away and thought she said that was hilarious. She doesn't see Kevin act like that very often.
I was surprised.
It's great to have, sort of him like have fun with us. So he's coming back. He's wanted to come back pretty much every day since we've been on. Not every day, but. We always go back and forth. We felt like today was a good time to do that, have him back on after the WonderFi deal. He'll talk to Brendan about that tomorrow at 8:30. Join us live when we'll have Kevin O'Leary on in and around 8:30 when we push it. Okay, right here, look, man, I've already said this. I think crypto takes out the highs. I'm just talking about Bitcoin right now. Many other names. Solana has a ways to go. I dumped all of my ETH yesterday. We talked about that at 2,500. It's up to 2,700 right now. We're going to do that in a minute. But look how strong this looks. I mean, you based out right there. We broke that base. We're basing out again. It just takes one more break, and that's up to 120. So I really like Bitcoin here. We can zoom in and out of all of these charts if we want. Every single time, like it bases. Sure, this time it fell down. I mean, we already know. I'm done looking at charts, honestly, for those tariff lows. Like, if we get back into there, fine. That's a great support area. But I don't think the rhetoric will be there to get us there on tariff news. So it's going to have to be something else. And so if that happens, fine. We'll trade it accordingly. But what a great buy opportunity that was. I bought multiple times at 85,000. Nothing down there. So I'm a pretty happy camper right now. But we're looking at that rate in the face right now. This is on Binance. Their highest is 109.6. I think we get to there. We could get to there tomorrow. And I already said Friday. I think I was one of the only ones on the panel that said that. That's probably a little bit aggressive, but definitely a good opportunity to break out. And if we do break that 110, it goes to 120 in 2 days. That's my guess. So watch out for that monster move coming now soon, if not already here on BTC. And here's a look at all the other cryptos. Altcoins, I guess. We don't have to keep calling them cryptos. But right there, the market cap right now, 3.5. So we do wind up breaking that on CoinGecko. But look at this, man. Look at the 7-day moves. I'll tell you if I can zoom in a little bit more. Yeah, that looks a little bit better for all y'all. The 7-day move, Bitcoin 10, right? Ethereum, what? Fabian? Ethereum up 50% in a week? What did they report? All right, nice move there. Ripple. Shout out to the army, man. I'm with you guys on that one. We strong, boy. We strong. Solana up 25%. Another one of them. Look, the next time Solana gets into 250 or whatever it was, I feel horrible not selling. I don't really, but feel horrible about not getting out. Look, this is how you know that. Like, I trade Solana and all this kind of stuff. Like, I just remember these levels, and we've been in it from time. There goes Solana. Look where Solana was, man. $20 back in August of 23, and even lower than that as that eventual low, December 20. Ooh, what a nice Christmas present that would have been, Adara. December 24th, 2022. Santa, why did you not bring me some SOL? I guess I was out of luck, not getting some SOLs then. That was $11. And by the next Christmas, it was at $95. Then the Christmas after that, we were at, wow, okay, Christmas is a good time to trade some Solana. $237. We'll see if Solana can get back up to there. These are definite sell spots for me if we ever get there. Look, man, I think crypto has a great opportunity to continue to grow, right? But you got to be in the right coins at the right time. Thank you to everybody for waiting around with me to talk a little bit about that, because crypto is not everybody's passion, and it's not mine, but I'm passionate about trading and about everything in general. So what was like my kids? Forget about it. That's my big passion is there. Kids and wife, all of that family, big time. And then the second one, it's always awesome to be able to do really what you like. Like, I get to go home now and then take my kid. My daughter's right now is on her way to volleyball, and I get to take my son to basketball, like that to me.
That's
and I get to have whatever my wife made for dinner. Like, it's that kind of stuff that I look forward to. And even when I talking to my wife right after the show, I always ask her, like, what are the plans for the night and things like that. I think that's very important because if we just get too obsessed with trading, like I'll be sitting there sometimes just like scrolling through CNBC app and then let alone crypto. Like there's so many different coins, Pepe coin and all that kind of stuff. But I really liked the Solana. And again, Jake Paul started pumping it and that's when it gets a little bit frothy at those levels. But okay, so Oklo, not doing too much right now, kind of just hanging out. Did we get new holdings?
Nope.
Okay, so we don't have that again. A South American name, maybe reporting on a different time. You had given to me Adara 415, so I guess
I'm seeing like people on X are saying where are they? So it seems like a meta situation.
Yeah, no, nothing wrong with that. We just try to do the best job that we can.
do.
Man, I'm almost out of water over here. We want to thank Brian Shannon and congratulate him. Thanks for the early note that we wouldn't be on there today. Next week, we're going to have a guest trader, then Brian will be on in 2 weeks. So you had told me this. He was named today the 2025 Educational Content Creator of the Year by StockTwits, and I'm sure all of his appearances here, he's been on here 30 times with me. You know, all we're doing is talking about education, talking about great plays, and here it is again. Look, even when the guy's not here, man, I got someone clip this and send it to him. Here it is right here, Anchored VWAP. Thank you, Brian, for the book and for the great read. It's definitely one that is well read around these pages, this area, these well-read pages. Right, okay. What was up today? The Jets ETF was up. We really like that one. And it's not the New York Jets, although I think they'll have a better year this year with Fields as their quarterback, Justin Fields. We'll see if they can do something this year as well. But there it is. Look at this. I mean, I remember specifically talking about this ETF when we were right down there. Nice move upside. The top 5 airlines, as I hold up 4, the top 5 airlines are all about 10% in on this. So what was down today then, right? Obviously, Adara, we had healthcare down. We saw that big UNH move. Oof. I wonder what percentage of XLV is UNH. We did have the Dow as a laggard today with the diamonds. DIA. The diamonds down today against the rest of the market. Again, value, I'm going to be picking up some Dow Jones. The diamonds right there. I think this is a good opportunity to do that. Bless you, Fabian. As they have Nvidia, a recent journey to the Dow, and of course UNH, which will get it all settled. Take advantage of that, man. If without UNH, this thing would probably be up here. So we'll watch out for that.
I have a stat on that.
Yeah, go.
So Bespoke said that I think it was over the last, I'm going to get the exact stat, last over 5 or 10 days, but either way, over a specific period. Yeah. Apparently, if you had not had the UNH and the Dow, it actually would have been positive. Instead, it's negative solely because of UNH. And I'm going to see if I can find this because I have here it is. So since April 11th, so it's way longer time frame than I thought. Since April 11th, UNH has had a negative impact of nearly 1,800 points on the Dow. Ooh. Without it, instead of being down 0.7% year to date, it would be up a shocking 3.5%. So that number is a lot crazier than I thought.
The Dow?
Yeah, so it's dropped the Dow roughly 1,800 points. Okay. And we're actually down year to date on the Dow, which we would not be. We'd actually be up 3.5% year to date on the Dow. Yep. Had our friend UNH not been in the Dow.
That makes sense. And, you know, everyone kind of was like, why is Sean picking the Dow? So I picked the Dow as an index earlier on in January. So it does make me feel good that at least it would be positive, which is very similar to most of these names, right? I mean, even look at the Qs as we talk about the NASDAQ. If we're going to go year to date, obviously starting out right here, this is Jan 1st right here. So the NASDAQ also going positive. Wow, I didn't realize that. Oh, wait a minute. We have a year to date here. There it is right there. There's the NASDAQ, Adara. Yeah, 0.8. Congratulations, those of you that hung out with the NASDAQ this year. What is the S? This is year to date, right? This is not 52-week highs number or anything like that. We're still pulled back from 52-week highs. But the change, oops, the spider's different. Where's my year-to-date number on the SPY? All right, there it is, 0.09. Sounds like a positive number to me there as well. And then let's find out the big winner, I feel like, GLD. Mm-hmm. You know, again, not really an ETF, but an asset class nonetheless. We can also look at Bitcoin as well. But GLD here, position year to date, Adara, 24% for gold. Wow. So great little look there. I think I could let's try IBIT. IBIT should work, right? There it is right there as well. 12% on Bitcoin. since the beginning of the year. So that's a nice number as well. This is what I'm talking about diversifying your portfolio. Obviously on the show, I'm a Mag 7. I've got Mini-Me Joe now trading all these names, literally Mini-Me.
You guys like what? You guys are the Austin Powers, Dr.
Yeah,
Evil?
yes.
You guys need to wrap just the two of us, the Dr. Evil.
Maybe
version.
we will. Maybe we should we could have a Instagram of me and Mini-Me doing something. And thank you to Joe. He's just like the better dressed Mini-Me, right? As we go. But no, and what I mean about that is, although we can trade Mag 7 names, I really think we have a little bit of an edge on that. You know, you want to be a little diversified. And that's why I said recently I've been buying the Dow. I've been buying Berkshire as well. I like that cash position that they're on. Don't like the fact that Warren has stepped aside, but I still do like that name. I actually think Berk B, let me see what this is doing year to date as well. Year to date on Berk B, I actually do not see it on here, but maybe it's on this page. There it is, 12.5%. So Berkshire obviously outperforming all major indexes as well. Okay, good. Great show there. I think we did fantastic considering we had no earnings.
Yes. Also, thank you, Drop Trades, for the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you very much, Drop Trades, dropping these memberships and the support into this chat. Thank you very, very much for that. Oklo earnings are out also. Sorry, guys, I should mention that.
Okay, let's
Are they earnings I can look at? No, it's just a link to a release. So I'm going to have to go through this okay, I'm going to go to their website, events and present. You know, I'll take you guys through this live so you can see what I deal with when I'm trying to get through these in real time. Upcoming events.
Perfect.
Results and webcasts. Let's go. Oh, I only have the link to the webcast. So, financials. Quarterly results. Are they going to give me that? Okay, here we go. SEC statement. This is real time. This is a good one.
I know. Now you got to go through
That is an SEC. Okay, that is a prospectus. So, yeah, here you go. You really just go through a lot of filings, and then you never find the one you need. And that is from May 9th also, so it doesn't even look like they actually have the earnings out. Well, that's
all right.
cool.
Well, that was
Sorry,
it.
Guys, about
that's what we do with Oklo. Yeah, but okay, there we go. So this is what we're doing here live every single day at Trader TV. So, you know, we're like, what's the news? Adara parses through everything, and we wind up getting it. So thank you so much to everybody for watching again one more time. Okay, I already know the answer to this, but I'm going to give it to everybody else. All right. So we always do a little bit of a pound out here to end the show. So this one is any kind of a sporting event that you can attend.
Oh,
so
you
which
do
would it
know
be?
this. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers game.
That's it. A CFL, a football game, Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Let's go Winnipeg Jets, as they're in a fight right now with the Dallas Stars in the NHL. So
yes.
Thank you again. Thank you to Fabian for staying late. Thank you to Ramin for some of those cool Instagrams. Go make sure you do check it all out at Trader TV Live on Instagram, at Trader TV Sean as well. Go find Adara at Trader TV Research. We're all over X. But yeah, wow, what a great day. Thanks, Neil, Joe, Sharif, Brendo, Bears vs. Bulls. Join us tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. This guy better show up. Now he will. When we will have Kevin O'Leary on to talk everything crypto. I'm sure he's going to be very opinionated about
watches.
And I was going to say everything.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, when was the last time we didn't ask him something and he didn't have a strong opinion on it? So tariffs, all of that, we'll get his opinion on how the deal's going so far. The art of the deal. He's a deal maker. We'll go find out what he's saying. So join us tomorrow at 8:30 as we'll have Kevin O'Leary with Brendan on the main desk. Thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow. Good show, Adara. Ciao for now.
Good show.
You found the best trading show on the planet. So what are you going to do now? Simple. Hit
Trade.
the like, subscribe, and share it. It's Trader TV Live. We're here, baby.